All aboard!
If I were you, I would think about climbing on board.
WX8BK. This is the Night Train. Opening song tonight was Changes by Paul Wad and Panau, I believe is how it's pronounced. I would like to say that they are a Web3 NFT artist, but they're not. I just wanted to play something awesome. So I did. I really love that song. Touches me deep down inside. My name is Vitz. I am your host for this evening. We are just sitting here chatting, going to have a little bit of a good time for about an hour or so. No guest tonight. No Willie tonight. Next week we will have a guest though. Here we are we are the Night Train. We're here every Tuesday night, 9 p.m. Eastern. Next week we will have 5,000 Aliens as our guest next week. A collage artist and also has a movie on Apple TV currently. So we're going to talk a little bit about that. And then the following week after that, December 19th, we have Joe Rogan's dad going to be our guest. So today I just decided to be here because I felt it was necessary to at least show up and hang out. And I hear a little bit of an echo somewhere here again. I'm trying to figure that. There, I got it. All right, I figured out what it is. Figured I had to come here and hang out just a little bit. Got to keep it going. It's a beautiful night out here in Canada. We are exceptionally warm in my part of the Canada right now. We are 17 degrees Celsius, which is like 62 degrees Fahrenheit. So really unseasonably warm for me right here, right now. And I enjoyed every second of it. And I'm going to go out after the show and take my dog out for another walk, I think, because it's just damn beautiful. Threw some microphones down there. Fendel, how you doing, man? You got time to chat there?
Heck yeah, buddy. How's it going?
Yeah, I'm good. Thanks for showing up. Appreciate it very much. Jay, I threw you a mic, but I know obviously you can't talk all the time, so if you can, feel free to come up whenever you want. How you doing, Fendel? What's going on in your neck of the woods?
I'm doing great. I had a day off today.
Oh, beauty.
It is like raining.
Yeah.
It is raining so tough here in Seattle.
Right.
We're getting like these the big storms are kind of rolling in. They're really, really warm, and no appreciable snow in the mountains, unfortunately. But
Yeah.
yeah, it's very wet here, and I went out and walked around today. Watched Longfellows Creek overflowing next to my house, and made a bunch of music today. New piece with Valerie O'Ronan, and
Awesome.
yeah, doing great over here.
Beautiful. Yeah, that weather is coming our way right now. They've got it. I think tomorrow it hits the eastern part of British Columbia, the Pineapple Express, as they call it. The
Yep,
jet stream.
that's right.
Yeah. That's it's crazy because we've been absolutely beautiful here on the east side of the mountains. Like we have been so fortunate this winter. It has been ridiculously above seasonal. No precipitation, which we all know is not just bad for skiing and snowboarding. It's bad in the springtime too, when there's nothing for the farmers. But that's besides the point.
Yeah,
But
yeah, we need the water, no
yeah.
doubt about it, in any capacity for
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah, but on the other side of the mountains, they got hammered with the snow there Thursday, Friday, Saturday, like the last 4 days of last week or whatever. But now they're going to get, I don't know what it is in metric, or in imperial, but they're getting 100 millimeters of rain, which is in the next 3 days. It's going to be a disaster. They're like calling for like major overland flooding and shit like that. So all the snow that fell is going to come down now.
Yeah, we have a bunch of flooding here in Washington State going on too.
Yeah, it's
Um,
wild.
so I don't know. I don't know how that looks for the eastern part of the state, but over here in Western Washington, it's just coming down like crazy, and it doesn't look like it's going to stop anytime soon either.
And I mean, for anybody that doesn't, I mean, if you know anything about the Pacific Northwest, for somebody to say that it's really coming down and going hard, like that means something. right?
It does, because it doesn't usually like rain this hard for this long here. It's usually like a sustained rain that's more of like a misty rain that lasts till July 3rd and or so, but right now it's exceptionally warm and there's a lot of precip and flooding, and I have a bunch of friends who, are it's pretty typical. We do get this from time to time, but I have friends that their basements are flooding, and that's real typical for this part of the world. But yeah, but all is good over here in West Seattle, and
Sweet.
Yeah.
I had to make the realization last week. I made an executive decision, and I've just decided that, unfortunately, this year I'm just my second year in a row. I'm just not no hitting the slopes this year. I've just the prices have gone up so ridiculously now to even go hit the hill for a day that I've admitted defeat this year.
Yeah, I can totally understand. It is extremely expensive, which is why I bought well, I've been skiing backcountry for many years, but I love it. But I have a new backcountry rig, and I love hiking for it. What can I say? I love backcountry skiing, and all it takes is a drive to the hill and a little bit of effort, to walk up the hill. But I do understand. Yeah, I mean, riding chairlifts is very expensive.
Oh, it's gotten ridiculous, man. Like, I mean, COVID, I didn't go because when they first whenever the hell the first year, whenever they opened the hills, like up here, I can't remember when they did, but I was like, I rolled up, and then I saw a chairlift that was like beyond any chairlift that I had ever seen in my life, and I was like, well, no. So I didn't that whole first year that they opened ski hills up here for COVID. I was like, nope, not doing it. And then the next year, it was still kind of an overflow, so I didn't bother. And then this year, I was like, yeah, no. Or last year, what the hell happened last year? I don't know. I got excuses for everything, but yeah, no. I looked into prices, and I'm just like this year, and I'm like, no, man. Like it's just a few years ago, I was getting to the point where I was like, man, every year they keep going up and up and up with the prices. And not that I expect anything extravagant at ski hills, because I'm quite content with like an old school ski hill where it's like a couple, Atco, construction trailers put together, and you're just there to ski, right? Like an old school kind of 80s movie deal. But it's like they don't put it seems like it keeps getting more and more expensive, but they don't put anything in to the infrastructure, and that ticks me off, man.
Yeah. I'm a pass holder up at Snoqualmie Pass, and it's still fair. I mean, fairly affordable. It's still like pretty affordable. I think the pass is like $450. So that, I mean, you get your money's worth, and geez, 5 times up there, and I go like every week. So
Yeah.
at least once, maybe twice a week. But that is to say, it is an extra, and but I really make it a priority, and I work hard to save money for my ticket each year, and I just love being up there, and as it compares to the other ski hills here, it is much less. Like if you go down to Crystal Mountain, I think the pass per year is like $1,200, and to ski there for a day, it's like $125, $130 a day. I mean, this is ridiculous.
And that's US. I'm even converting that because that's US as well, right? Which ups at another $30 or whatever it is for us. It's like holy $40.
There'll be like that'll be like $160 Canadian, or something.
And then
for a day,
and then you gotta fuel it up there, right? And
and can you imagine a whole family paying that for a day?
But I mean, most of the families that I've ever known over my life that have done it, like that's what they do.
Yeah,
right? Christmas comes around, and it's like nobody gets anything. You get your pass, and that's it. If I had the big thing with me with the pass is like I do have my cabin, and there's a Fernie Resort is half an hour from my cabin, and I have bought seasons passes there in the past.
Mhm.
But the problem is that it is where my cabin is, and well, not sorry, that's not really a problem, but it's 4 hours away, right? So
Right.
it's like I have to be going like it's worth it when I go to my cabin, but it's like sometimes there's shitty weather, and sometimes you don't feel like going like week after week doing that 4 hours there, 4 hours back, even when you spend a couple nights or a night at the cabin. But and then there's the hills that are close to me that are within an hour and a half. Um,
Right.
that I but the passes number one are like almost double of what it is at Fernie, but I think Fernie is still like 1400 for a year. But then for me, it's like, well, if I don't go to Fernie, then it's like, well, what if I want to go to one of these hills here, right? It's like, fuck. But the problem too is that I do not get weekdays. I would have to book weekdays off in order to get up to the mountains on weekdays. And
Mhm.
the hills that are within an hour of us are like it's ridiculous. I don't pay. I wouldn't pay $50 to go stand in lineups for like 45 minutes to an hour every time you do a lap. Like that's not
Right.
right. So,
Yeah.
anyways, just bitching.
Yeah. No, I totally get that. This is why I love backcountry skiing, is
Yeah,
because I love hiking already, and to me it's like, well, I'm gonna be hiking in the winter, and then I get to ski down and enjoy it with my friends, and there's some beautiful places to go here, and it's an hour or less drive away, and you can just go hike for it, and there's no lines. It's you know
right.
fresh,
Yeah,
and it's beautiful, and there's no humans anywhere.
yeah.
So
There's tons of that here too. I guess I just don't know anybody that does do it here. But
mhm.
the other thing is too is I snowboarding. A lot of backcountry doesn't typically lend itself to snowboarding too well. Um, I just
Not unless you're split boarding,
yeah, yeah,
which I
right,
did
yeah,
for years actually.
yeah,
But then I converted. And I loved split boarding, but having skis is just a better tool in the backcountry overall.
yeah.
And I know that my split boarding friends would just hate hearing me say this, but but it is true. It's skis are a better tool, like in the backcountry,
Yeah. Well,
overall.
it better in the because I mean you don't have a choice of going down some fancy dancy groomed run. So I mean like even in trees like that's another place where I find like a snowboard sometimes just doesn't really bode well as skis are a little bit better. But
Oh yeah,
yeah,
there's way more maneuverable, like
yeah,
around
yeah,
obstacles and like you know, yeah, it's just a better tool overall. For backcountry
yeah.
stuff.
I've
That said, I've done some amazing stuff on split boards.
yeah,
That, and I've been with guys who are every bit as skilled as skiers on a split board. And if anybody is curious about what that is, it's basically just a snowboard cut in half, and then which becomes skis on the uphill, and then you switch them back to a snowboard for the downhill mode. That's what that is.
hell yeah. Slap some slap some skins on them and away you go.
Exactly, exactly. And skins, in case your future listeners or whatever are wondering, is a way to go uphill that where you put skins on the bottom of skis or a split board, and it is an uphill uh, it's an uphill way that the skin grabs the snow so you don't slide backwards, and then you take the skins off to go in downhill mode. So,
I remember the first time I ever heard about that stuff, and I was like, "What? Come on, you're blowing my mind." And then I did it a couple times, and I'm like, "This is dope. Like it's way crazy. It's just crazy to even think about that because anybody that's ever touched skis to think about going uphill on skis, that's no, right? Like that's not happening."
yeah. Right. And the skins, like they grab the snow so that you don't go backwards. And yeah, it's almost counterintuitive.
Yeah.
They work so well. And yeah, I've been doing this a long time, and yeah, it's just great fun, man. I'm excited for the season to start. And
Hell yeah.
yeah, but I'm content to like hang around and make music and mint NFTs and, work hard and with Sister Sage and, until it's all the snow is there and we'll get going soon
Yeah,
enough.
that's the thing here. I'm really not thinking that this part of my part of the world, on the other hand, is not going to have good snow. Period. Like it's not. They're suffering greatly at this moment in time, especially Fernie on that side of the mountains, right? Like they're going to get hit with that 100 millimeters of rain. That's going to just
Oh,
and I mean they've been struggling to get the snow base so far. So oh well. I'll still get out
yeah.
there. I'll still head to the cabin. I'll still do hiking. I'll snowshoeing. Maybe get a little ice fishing in. But yeah, just gonna
Yeah.
leave the
I
expensive
mean,
stuff.
we'll take what we can get,
Right.
and
Absolutely.
I'm not like I'm not worried about it for my own, pleasure. I mean, I love it, but it is what it is, and I it's just weather.
Yeah.
Like, you know.
You
Um,
can't mess. I mean, it's Mother Nature, man. Like,
yeah.
I always gave kudos to farmers when I worked for I delivered equipment for John Deere, and whenever I would go out to a farm, man, I would always give kudos to a farmer because anybody that wants to depend on Mother Nature to make a living, that's whack. That's
It is so hard, let me tell you. We have our small farm, which is just about an acre and a
right,
half
right, right.
on Vashon, and right now it's under a bog of like it's just like I'm sure it's just squishy, bog of water and mud right now. But yeah, I mean, farmers are the hardest working people. My goodness.
Crazy. And I mean, so stressful. And all the time, you're on call. I mean, all the time, man. When it's time, when you're farming, like, there's no taking a break. I mean, maybe after harvest or after whatever, depending on what you farm, man, you might get a little break and get some, Florida time in. But I mean, farmers 24 hours a day, man. You're
Oh yeah.
hustling, hustling.
Oh yeah. It's all hands.
Hmm.
And yeah, like these folks work so hard. I know a lot of farmers from Pike Place Market, and these folks, my goodness, oh,
Yes.
it is it is incredibly hard work.
Well, I mean, I remember a while back when I was DJing in one of the provinces in Saskatchewan, where the owner of my company's family was from. They were like one of the original settling families. So like when you went there anywhere in that province, like and you talked about the Philic family, these oh yeah we know them here. This meal's on us, right? Like if your friends are theirs, like this meal, it didn't matter. They knew who they were. But we were staying at the farmhouse, and it was I can't remember how cold it was at the time, but it was like Canadian. Polar bears are coming inside to like warm up cold. Um, and I got woken up at 4 in the morning to like all this hustle and bustle and noise and whatever, and it sounded like people going in and out of the house, and the furnace was like running, and finally woke up. I smelt breakfast and woke up, and I DJ'd the night before, like I was city boy, but I go down to the kitchen, and there's all these pipes in the house like 1 inch steel pipes, like however many lengths, like 12 feet, 15 feet, and they're all through the house everywhere. And I'm just kind of standing there going like, what the fuck is going on? Like I just woke up, and the it got so cold that the frost went so deep into the ground that it started freezing their water pipes. So he was out there starting fires with like these half culverts that he had and thawing out the ground all night and digging it up with the backhoe and pulling these pipes out and thawing them out. It was so wacky, man. Like he was bringing them in the house to thaw them out so that he could put them back into the ground so that he could get the water running again. It was nuts. I had no. I was like blown away watching this, and I'm like, well. And then after Buddy's like, well, it's farm life, man. Like it is what it is. Do you want water? He's like, it froze now, and he's like, we're in the middle of winter, so it ain't gonna get any warmer. So like, we're not gonna have water until springtime if we don't do something about it. I was like, fuck, all right. And he still had to take care of all the animals and do all of the shit that he normally had to do. I was like, man, I am
Whoa,
yeah,
that's intense.
that's totally intense, man. It's like, and then of course I'm standing there going, well, is there anything I can do? And he goes, looks at me kind of up and down. Like, no. I'm like, yeah, okay. I'm just gonna sit down and eat this wonderful breakfast that I don't feel like I've worked for at all. But thank you. Yeah, it was wild. It was pretty wild. It was like, and that's a life, man. Like that's, and they were out in the middle of nowhere. Like they weren't near a town or a city or anything. Like they were way in the middle of, but fuck nowhere. So it was crazy, wild. No, praise to the farmers. Praise to the farmers.
Heck yeah! Praise to the farmers.
Yeah. When you are y'all out there? I guess it's probably a lot of with your plot that y'all farm. It's probably all by hand. I'm imagining, right? You maybe have a riding lawnmower and that's about it.
Yeah, and I wish we had. I wish we had that. I mean, it's pretty much by hand. And yeah, it's a small, acre and a half that we basically rent. It's what is it called? It's it's subsidized, like
Cool.
it's a farm trust.
Cool.
So it's very low cost for us, and we don't own the land per se at all, but we get to use it. Yeah.
Cool.
So yeah, it's wonderful. It's a beautiful place, and Vashon Island is a ferry ride about 20 minutes from Seattle, from West Seattle. So yeah, you can get on the ferry with car, or you can just walk on or bike, and it's about 25-minute ride, and then maybe like 10 minutes to the farm once you get on the other side. So yeah, it's a beautiful place.
So
too.
it's so crazy.
Gorgeous.
It's so crazy thinking of that life out there. Like, I mean, I lived a very huge part of my life in the west coast of Canada, and it's such a different world. I mean, I live out on the prairies. I've been living out here on the prairies now for like 20 years. And the prairies was always very close to me. I had family that lived out here and stuff like that. And it's like, I love it. I love the big sky and everything like that. But I always forget about the little things, like when you're in the Pacific Northwest or any of those areas where it's more mountainous and stuff, is that, there's water, there's ferries, right? Like, if you're near the salt water, especially, but even inland on some of the rivers and crap, like there's all these ferries and there's not a grid way of moving around like there is on the prairies. Like in the prairies, it's like, oh, this highway's messed up. Okay, well, just take the next road that goes east and follow it east until you find the next road that goes north, and you follow it, right? But in places like the Pacific Northwest, any mountainous areas, like the mountainous areas of our world, like it doesn't work that way. It's like, oh, this highway's fucked. Well, I guess we're screwed. The only other option is like maybe driving 8 hours out of your way to get around. But sorry, just the ferry thing made me think about that. I miss ferries.
Yeah. And the ferries are actually, to me, the ferry system here in Washington State is really one of the things that I think defines this region the most, because the ferries are so extensive here, and really, and there's not anywhere else in the world less. I think there's a ferry system in Sweden, and maybe Switzerland is, but I think Sweden, that has a kind of an extensive ferry system, but yeah, like there's a lot of islands off of Seattle, and it really defines this region, I think, and you can see all of it straight from downtown. Like you go downtown and there are ferries that go to West Seattle, Bainbridge Island, and then lots more ferries if you go up north that go to several more islands, from the, top corner of, Western Washington State, and beautiful places, Anacortes and Hat Island. And there's all kinds of islands out there, off the coast of Washington, and just really different, The Oregon coast is really beautiful along the coast. It's very, very scenic place. I grew up more on the Oregon coast because I grew up in Portland, Oregon, and the Oregon coast is just gorgeous. And Washington is just really, really different, very rugged, and younger geology on, the coastline, and, the mountains are right off of the Pacific Ocean on the Washington coast, which is the Olympic mountain range, and virtually unexplored, honestly. I mean, you've got the national park out there, Olympic National Park, which is, a huge, destination for people visiting here.
It's where the
Absolutely beautiful.
It's where the Sasquatch is.
Largely unexplored, honestly.
Yeah, well, it's such difficult terrain. I mean, that's where the Sasquatch live out there, the Olympic Peninsula and shit. Fucking
Oh yeah,
Sasquatch
yeah.
right?
A lot of Sasquatch. I mean, Sasquatch for sure, but more. I'd say there's a lot more like Sasquatch and Bigfoot, lore in the Cascades, which is east of me, and specifically, like, there's a really cool movie. I'm forgetting the name of it off the top of my head, but I'll look for it on the break here. But there's a really cool movie that takes place on the Middle Fork of the Snoqualmie River, which is literally like 30 minutes from my house. I mean, it's not far at all, and that's one thing that people don't really realize, I think, about this place is, like, yeah, Seattle's a big town, with a ton of people here, but you drive 30 minutes away and you are in deep wilderness, I mean, it's extensive. It is green as far as you can see. And if you go down the Middle Fork of the Snoqualmie, it is, I mean, it's a lifetime of exploration in that one small valley. Amazing. There's so much cool stuff to do in that one valley. I've been down there, I don't know how many times, countless times. And hiking, biking, climbing, skiing, whatever you want to do, it's all there in that one little valley. And it's not that far away, really. And that's just one little place, here. And just like so much outdoor recreation that's, close to this huge city, and
that's why you guys are. That's why y'all are honorary Canadians, right there. That's why.
Exactly.
Right there.
Exactly. But well, I get it, and I've spent you know me. I've spent a lot of time, especially in Vancouver and BC. I've been over to your neck of the woods, 3-4 times, which I just love. You live in one of the most beautiful parts of the whole world. I mean, I would argue that forever.
Shucks. I would say that about where you live as well. So, I mean, but that whole where you are and traveling up that West Coast, I mean, it all transfers up. I mean, it's all, you get up into Vancouver and the Sunshine Coast up there, like it's all the same thing where, you got Vancouver and the Lower Mainland, 8 million people, but you drive 20 minutes, man, and you are so going to get lost if you walk into the bush. Like,
oh yeah, you have to really know what you're doing. And Vancouver Island is gorgeous too.
Yes.
Like, wow, like Victoria is beautiful. And I've only been up there a few times, but there's a ferry that goes, it's a high-speed ferry from Seattle to Victoria. It takes about maybe an hour and a half or so. It's called the Clipper. And you can catch it right from downtown, and you're just in the middle of, like, the sound and, like, just cruising up to Vancouver Island, and you get up there and my goodness, it's so beautiful there in Victoria on, Vancouver Island. I just love it,
That's a nice thing. I love talking to you, Fendel, because I know you're much like myself, and you appreciate what's right here in your own damn backyard. Don't get me wrong, traveling places is absolutely awesome as well, but man, we got so much that we can go to. Like you said, going through Snoqualmie, like you go up there, like you could go do the Snoqualmie Pass like a million times, and there's always things that you can go and see like you've never seen. You just pull over on the side of the road and go, oh, look at this little random waterfall creek thing that's just here, and like there's a trail, let's go check it out. And all of a sudden you're at some crazy summit and you're like, what?
Oh yeah, I've been out this valley. It's a legendary valley, like the Middle Fork, the Snoqualmie. I've been out there like I don't know. I've been out there every year for years and years, and there's still so much more to see. And in fact, it's funny because my buddy like has contacted me this week, and he's like, "Mark, we got to go hiking," and I'm like, "Dude, it's raining for shit, bro. Like spring, like let's put it on the calendar." And he's like all excited about these hikes that are off trail that he wants to do, and which a few of them I've already been like eyeing these things, but I know I can't really do them by myself because it's off trail, and I need somebody else, with equal like navigational skills,
Sure.
and to do it. But it's not like that crazy. But like you gotta really know what you're doing. But I've been out there for 20 years every year, like so many times, and there's still like so much more,
I
and we're
love it.
talking about a half-hour drive from here, like not
Yeah.
that far.
Well, I went out last weekend. No, sorry, 2 weekends ago, um, to get a Christmas tree, and you drive half an hour away, and it's a regular recreation area where it's a lot of off-roading and dirt biking and stuff like that. Trails everywhere. But I mean, when you're on the trails that are marked and like it's no big deal, right? You don't think twice about it. But we pull over on the side of the road and you just start walking into the forest. And even my sister and brother-in-law were all out there, and we were with like 15 other people who were maybe 30 feet, 40 feet away from us, but you couldn't see them anymore. You could hear them, sort of. But it's like it's so amazing sometimes when you walk into the forest how easily you could just get lost and turned around. That popped into my head. It was like a creepy thought, I know, but yeah, like the when you were talking about like going with somebody else that is quite as capable as you, it's important because it's way too easy when you go off into those places to get turned around, especially when
Oh
you're
yeah.
especially when you're on like one of those trails like in where my cabin is. The 4x4 trails and the single track trails are notorious for constantly kind of curving slightly, but you don't know. And it's very, very easy to get mixed up in my area, like super, super easy. If you and because it's very foothill like, so it's very hard to like sometimes pick out the sun or the horizon or anything to look for kind of thing. So you'll be on these trails and you'll be thinking that you're basically walking straight, but then if you go to get your bearings, you'd be like, what? Like we just kind of doubled back on ourselves. How the fuck did that even happen, right? Like you don't even know. And that's where you're like, yeah, where you're talking about somebody else who's very familiar with navigating through bush. It'd be very handy to have.
Definitely, and even on like, established, I've hiked the PCT from Mexico to Canada, even the PCT, people, the Pacific Crest Trail
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
speaking of, that runs 2,660 miles from Mexico to Canada, it completes all of California, Oregon, and Washington, even that trail alone, which is, hiked, by a couple thousand people every year. It's very popular national scenic trail. People get lost on that thing
Mm-hmm.
and not found. There are several people that have never been recovered. Like even on a trail that's has lots of people on it. So like you have to really know what you're doing out there, and
Don't
I
fuck
always say,
around.
respect. You always have to respect the trail where you are, respect the animals, respect everything that you do every day, and that will keep you safe. you
That's
know
very true. Once again, we're right back to Mother Nature, man. Mother Nature's got all the power, man. You don't go cruising out there just thinking that you're no biggie.
Yeah, not at all. Like, you have to really be prepared when you go into these environments, and
I
I'm always on I'm always very conservative, in terms of, my trip planning, because I dream big, and I've gone big. You know, that hike took me 6 months nearly, and then I've done another scenic trail, you know, in 2015 too, and you know, which was even more, you know, ambitious, you know, because of more off trail travel but super rewarding, you know, especially when you have a good team and you're well prepared and you have good navigational skills and you have the right tools and the right clothing, you know, and it's really rewarding, these things. And yeah, I have some big goals in 2024 too, so I'm excited, you know.
Send it.
Yeah.
I'm excited for that, and I'm excited because I can live vicariously through you on your trips.
Man, well, you got to come out here, brother, and we'll go do some fun
Okay,
stuff.
we'll
You
have
know,
to.
love to do that.
Definitely on the list. I haven't been to your neck of the woods, man, in like 30 years, 28 years, I think was the last time I was out there, and it was a short whirlwind. But yeah, no, for sure, got to come out there. I was
Oh
thinking of
yeah, you got to bring the dog, everything, man, for sure.
go for it. The dog's like barking at me. He must want to go out. He was here, and he's like, "Yeah, Fendel said we're going somewhere. Where are we going, man?" Um, you know,
I
it's
see some great people here in the audience.
yeah.
Me, Racha Tito, Paldi, Jane, Antonio. Welcome, everybody.
I gave
Super
me
Hi.
glad to have you here.
I gave
What's
me a
up,
microphone.
me?
Hi, fam.
Love you. How's it going?
Love you. Fine. Hi, bitch. Hi, everybody. Shout out to my friend Antonio. I'm listening here. You know, some things I remember when you talk about that because I've lived in North Carolina and I guess somehow it's similar and I just realized that other things are like as when I listen to you as if I'm in a movie, like watching a movie. You explain so well, so detailed everything, and you're so passionate about it that yeah, you teletransport me. And I love when you share your your adventures photos. Yeah, lovely
I'll have to
scenario.
share more of that stuff. I do love sharing it. I have some really fun stories. Oh my goodness. Sure.
All the more reason we need to go sit around a campfire with Fendel.
Yeah,
Heck yeah.
Me, how you been? Haven't
fine, thank you.
good. I'm
Mhm.
happy
Well, I'm not sure I have been fine, but every time you ask me, I will say fine.
to... okay. Well, I'm okay with that. Just I mean,
It's just that it doesn't matter if I haven't, you know. It's just to come here to this space or to listen to you. I forget about everything else.
well, that if we can be an
I
escape,
love it here.
if we can be an escape, I appreciate that too. But you don't always have to say that you're fine. Just to say that you're fine. We're okay with you saying, "Well,
But
I'm
I
having
am
a shitty day."
fine
Oh, good.
right
Okay,
now.
good. All right. Good.
Right now.
Good. All right then.
Next morning, I don't know.
Yeah.
I'll be grumpy perhaps, or
But
I was yesterday. But right now, I am.
well, that's just regular stuff, right? None of us will really know either.
I'm very happy because today I've been with Hash, the one Hash Brown, and Insa, and I never remember the name. Yes, in the test zones space. I haven't been there for a long time, and guess what, Fendel? Guess who's back?
Is me rolling in again?
Who's that?
Me.
Yes.
I'm back for the next season.
Fabulous. Whose
Yeah.
team are you going to be on?
I don't know. I Hash was talking something about if they are going to conserve the the teams or mix it up. I don't know. I think everything is on a. Are you still there?
Oh
Question.
yeah. Oh yeah.
Yes,
I'm
you are.
I'm the coach. I'm the team captain of Team Bigfoot.
Oh, I escaped from that. From which team?
Team Bigfoot.
Bigfoot. Oh, okay.
You're
This is
definitely welcome to be on my team. Of course.
yay.
I want you on. I want you on our team for sure. And I want Mal. Hi, Mal. I love you.
Okay. Hmm. Oh, Mel. I think I don't know him or her quite well, but he from Testones, right?
Mal is not in Tez Tones, but
No.
I would love to have Mal on my
Oh,
team forever. Thank you.
I'm just I'm
is that I know there are some new people after I had to quit, and I don't know them very well, but yes, I'm happy. I'm happy. Yes. Let's see. Hmm. Hmm.
I was gonna say it wasn't really it's not really quitting, right? It's stepping back. I
No,
think it's
actually, that was one of the options, right, Fan? That you could sit in the on the
on the
in on or
sidelines,
whatever the bench,
right?
right?
Yeah.
The thing is that I had to do. I was forced to do it, but life stuff in the middle of the fourth round. This is the second of the first season, and yes, I try to, but yeah, but life. Yeah.
Damn life.
Totally understand, fams, and much love to you, and you know that you are always welcome, and I would be very honored if you could be on my team, of course.
Yay!
I'd be on.
Thank
Damn,
you, fam.
if I'd be sitting here going, man, if Fendel's offering wants me on his team, I'd be so excited about that.
We have done
Yay!
something already.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. No,
something
you have. Yeah.
beautiful.
Um, I was gonna
Yeah.
say, and the beautiful thing, any project in this space, everybody has to realize that people have a real life. Like Joe Rogan's dad, who is going to be our guest on the 19th here, um, was chatting with us. Got popped in and was chatting with us a couple weeks ago. And he made a very good point. Of realizing, wow, we would all, a lot of the artists in here and people in this space and would love to make this their living. We all have to realize that this is just a hobby. If you make a little bit of money at it right now is really great, but if you got to step back for real life shit, I mean that trumps everything. Everything in this world. I mean, this is real, obviously, but it's not what pays the bills or keeps people healthy or takes care of your cats or whatever it may be, man. So that's the beautiful thing, is that it's that folks are always okay with. Yeah, well, you got to step away. Oh, fine, step away, walk away. I mean, and especially like I honestly think a couple years ago, a project like Tez Tones. I'm not saying if Hash Brown was running it. I mean, because Hash Brown's a really really great dude. So maybe not in his spot particular, but I think a project like this with other people running it, they a couple years ago would have been like, no, you can't fucking leave. What are you gonna leave? You can't fucking walk away. I don't care if somebody's sick or if you got to go pay the bills. No, fuck that. You got to stay in this, right? Like, it would have been shitty. But I think as time has passed, that I think everybody realizes that you got to be able to walk away, and it's okay to walk away. I don't. I go.
Yeah, that's the beauty of Testones. Yeah, and it doesn't mean that there are not some like I don't know, small issues, but everything is resolved in the end, because when the main point is to have that sport spirit. Yes, it's everything is okay.
Hell yeah. Well, that's good to know.
Yeah,
We love you, me.
we love you.
Oh.
Two bits, you're
Yeah.
the greatest.
Oh, I'm not the greatest. I'm there, but I'm not the greatest. Okay. I'm not gonna blow my horn too hard.
Okay, I'm the greatest.
Oh yes, yes.
Shadow, my man! Whoa! Whoa, this is a great day.
Oh damn, Shadow.
Oh my
Man.
goodness, Shadow, we got to get you up here. Like three of my favorite people will be on this.
While we're doing that, how you doing, malicious? Now while we're bringing up Shadow, getting
Hi,
up here in the
Malicious.
microphone, how you doing? My Western
I'm doing
Canada,
all right.
my
How are you
Western
guys?
Canada fam, Eastern Canada fam. I just called you Western Canada. Pardon me. Pardon me. Sorry, sorry. I
I see how it is.
didn't want to drag you down with the rest of us over here.
Yeah, Great Lakes region.
Right.
That's where I am.
Yes.
Yeah.
Another beautiful part of this world.
hmm
The Canadian or the Shield. It's not just this Canadian Shield. Doesn't it cruise down into the States a little bit, or is it just Canada? Do we have an answer for this?
It's where the glaciers were.
Yeah, but I was trying to think because I was like, is it kind of go? I don't know. Anyway, we don't need to get into that. Yeah, we don't need to get into
Yeah.
that. How?
It does. It has the same bedrock, so it does extend a little bit
Fair
further
enough.
south. Yeah.
Fair enough. Into the Canadian part of the United States.
Mhm.
Cool. Good stuff. How have you been? How was your weekend? Did you have a good weekend? Everything okay with you?
Yeah, everything's been going pretty well. Been working on a million things, like usual. Uh, Lots of drafting and copy editing and drafting policy and doing outreach and advocacy. I have been doing planning for the Tezos and Refraction DAO event in Miami at Nautilus. Taya is one of the community partners for that event, which is really cool. So I helped facilitate our team to find 11 guest curators from the community, artist curators, who then selected 39 artists, and they voted those down to 5 artists, which are going to be in the live show. And then I have the next 3 days are going to be very busy. I have to do like a round table and then a luncheon, and then I have to do some spaces. Yeah,
Jesus.
and
Well,
then
I'm
there's
glad.
more. There's
I'm
more that I haven't listed, but yeah,
well,
I'd never stop.
well, I'm
Yeah.
glad you stopped into our space to take a break, for crying out loud. Like,
Yeah.
damn. Well, you don't have.
And like, don't judge me, but I am copy editing as we're talking.
That's quite okay. We've had lots of guests that have been playing video games while we're talking to them. So, for somebody to come up here and hang out with us, you feel free to do whatever the hell you want. It's all good. All good. All good to hear. Busy.
Yeah.
Stuff from Miami. I was in Miami. Willie and I were both in Miami last year at this time. I missed it. I wish I could have went this year, but I had a trip to Italy, so I mean, I can't be. It's not that horrible. I mean, I did go to Italy, right? But man,
Yeah, it is what it is.
it is what it is, man. Can't be everywhere all the time.
Yeah, exactly.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and I've been my larynx is back into place, so I've been belting, singing for days.
Nice.
So that's been really refreshing. Yeah,
Oh, good
so
for
happy
you.
about that.
Yeah, I would be. To hear y'all wailing, yeah.
Singing System of a Down.
Okay.
Singing my little heart out.
I was just going through, so I was cleaning up our YouTube channel. Willie had pointed out a couple things a couple weeks ago. It's funny, we started using YouTube just as an archival thing, and I try when I have a guest on to be putting up there whatever we're talking about up on the screen on the YouTube channel. But it's mainly because we wanted to archive our spaces and because we talk with amazing artists. And sometimes even conversations like we're having tonight, just random nothing conversations. Well, it's about something, but no topic in particular. It's nice to have them there. But so anyways, over the weekend I picked up the iPad and I started fixing it up because there was lots of really weird things that were wrong. There was pictures of different guests with interviews of different people, and sometimes there wasn't even a description or a title or anything, so I was going through it. But man, was it ever fun to just randomly click on some of those and just like I would go through and click on random spots in the interview just to see what was going on at that time and listening to things and listening back. And it was so much fun. I had so much fun. I've listened to every one of our spaces. I listened to at least twice. Sorry, I listened to once more after producing the space. But some of them I've listened to multiple times, and I don't get tired of it, man. And it's like sometimes it's really funny because I'll listen to them, and I'll be like, okay, this is kind of dry. Like at the beginning of the space, I'm like, I don't know, I don't think I'm gonna listen to this. And then all of a sudden, a question will get asked, and I'm like, oh yeah, I remember this. This was really interesting. And then I get sucked into it, and all of a sudden, I've listened to like an hour and a half of a space that I've listened to 3-4 times. It's so fun. It's so much damn fun. Oh,
Mm-hmm.
so who is Mi Retratito Art?
It's me.
Sorry,
I came in because I wanted to follow everybody.
Alright.
It's a second account.
Sure.
No, she's leaving right now.
Okay.
She's the good one. I'm the bad one.
Well, I was gonna say, wait a minute. I really thought that was you, but now I'm questioning that. Okay, all right. Well, I guess. There you go.
No, is that I opened that account some months ago before I subscribed to the blue check, and I was organizing some event for the United Nations in my community, and I had to talk to like 100 people, and Twitter only lets you leaves you do like 200 lines by DMs when you don't buy the blue check. So I opened that other account. It was my backup. And recently I did a collection. It's going to be like a bunch of NFTs, and I didn't want to put it over all my stuff. So I'm using that account. But I just jumped in to follow everybody. To follow Paldi, Jay, Sister Sage, and Malicious. Hi,
Sweet.
Shadow.
Shadow, what's going on, my man? How are you, sir? He's not gonna talk to us. He's had enough of our shit. That's all right. You can unmute whenever you want. We're just casually talking. I figure he'll be in here for like another half hour, maybe an hour, if even that. Just kind of chatting, keeping the night train going. So, if you want to chat it up about whatever you want, feel free to do so. A question that because like last year at this time I was in Miami, and I got to meet a lot of people face to face that I had never met before. And Willie was one of them. I mean, some of you have probably already heard the story that Willie and I ran this space for almost a year, and I never knew what Willie looked like. I'd shared photos of myself and stuff like that before because I don't care about doxing or whatever, but I'd never met him. Even other people that I was going to meet, I knew what they looked like. So I knew who I was kind of gunning for in a room. But Willie, I had never met him yet. I talked for hours with the dude for weeks on end. And it was so funny, like when he opened the door, and I was just like, "Oh, that's you, eh? Okay, whatever." Right? Like I was like, "You're." I made him seem like it was anticlimactic and disappointing. But anyways, where I was going with that is I just kind of wanted to ask some of the artists, the folks that are up here, where would you like to see your artwork displayed? I mean, it's pretty natural. I guess it shouldn't be any different for this space. I mean, but when I think about traditional artists, there's probably the galleries, the Louvre, and there's all these normal traditional galleries that people would like to see their art displayed in. I want to throw the question out there and go to these artists that I have here in the room, more modern day. Is it still the same? Is that where you would like to see your art, or is there other places that you would like to see your art? Just gonna kind of throw that out there. You can answer if you want. If you don't want to answer, you don't have to.
What's up, everybody?
Oh, he's back. You got it there, Shadow.
Yo, sorry about that. I
That's
tried
okay.
to connect the first time, and it rugged on me, so it told me to come back in. So
No,
here
that-
I am.
That's okay, man.
Uh,
If you want to just shut us down and walk away, that's fine. We're all right. You don't have to.
it wasn't my fault, bro. I was trying to like come in, but sometimes technical difficulties happen, so it's all good.
Oh, it's just the story of this, the story of running spaces, man. The story of technology makes life quick and easy.
Yeah,
Have you been, sir?
I've been good. I
Good.
want to say, shout out to you, Vince, to the whole WX8BK family. I just felt like it was some time. It was time to just come in and spend some time with the fam, man, on the Miami Night Train. Um, Shout out to Fendel. I heard you shout me out early, bro. Much love to you, Jay in the building. Shout out to Jay, Gaia, B Retratito, Buenos noches, hola, ¿cómo estamos? To all my Espanol
Hola,
speaker.
Shadow,
Hola.
amigo, ¿cómo estás?
Bien, ¿y tú?
Muy bien. ¿Tu viaje?
Claro, claro. Yeah,
How was your trip to Peru?
it was amazing. I got so
Yeah.
much respect for the culture, and after that whole experience, I really I gotta brush up on my Spanish, man. I've been bullshitting. I gotta be able to speak fluent Spanish the next time I go there. So, man,
I bet.
but
Shadow, last Saturday I played the song as Bobby Baker's Space, and they loved it.
Baba Hell,
Yeah,
yeah, that's our song. That's our song right there.
they wrote to me and said, "Who is that saxophonist? He's amazing."
Yeah, you told him, right? You said, yeah, that's Shadow.
Yes, of course I did. Pendle was there. I remember.
Man, it's getting, it's wild. Like the saxophone, obviously when I picked the trumpet to play, I was in the wrong business. I should have been a saxophone player because I mean, I look at Fendel, I look at Shadow and I go, "Man, should have been a saxophone player."
Come to the dark side, brother. We got cookies. Come on over.
There's too
Come
many
on over.
there's too many buttons.
Well, what you were saying,
It's not easy.
No?
yeah,
I've tried it with Gaia's saxo, and it's not easy.
Hell no. We might be able to play, you might be able to play Happy Birthday, but I mean, you can't make the saxophones. You can't make the saxophone sing like Shadow Music and Fendel. That's what I think. Yeah, it's you got to be born to play the sax.
No, and we don't have the muse.
No, that's right.
No, only Shadow has the muse.
yeah, the muse is important. The muse is very important to have a good muse, like the inspiration to give you the fire to pursue such a tough instrument and actually master it and then make music with it. You got to have a strong inspirational muse. You know what I'm saying? Going back to the question Bitch was asking about, like where I want to see my art,
Yeah,
you know, just like in the hearts of people who really rock with it. And I think as musicians, we got to stay versatile and be able to adapt with the changes of uh, the industry and like the different technological mediums like music NFTs and um, the ebb and flow. Like when the music NFTs ain't doing so well, you got to be able to flow back into the Web 2 space with Spotify. And um, me and Jay was just talking about this in our Discord, in the Shadow Riders Army Discord, about like being able to offer more than just regular music, being able to just like be versatile and even do courses, do different type of shit like that. But I mean, in a perfect world, you want your art to be ubiquitous, and you want it to be everywhere where people are. And sometimes it's really hard to cover all the bases, but you do the best you can, especially as an indie artist. And that goes for visual artists like me. Me is multi. multifaceted, multi-talented. So is Gaia. You know, they're able to do visual art and musical art. You wanna have it everywhere you can. And I wish there was a way to use the AI technology and artificial intelligence to help be an aid in that, and like be some type of a helper, like an assistant in helping you automatically push your art out in multiple different arenas and areas and facets. Because I mean, like that's how you need to be. You got to be heard and seen by people. Can't be a vacuum.
True that. It's coming. I think that's you're very right with that, and I think that that's happening, man. It's gonna happen. They're gonna use that AI for that for sure. That's a no-brainer. Fuck yeah.
Oh yeah, oh
Um,
yeah.
sorry, I lost my train of thought there. But I was gonna say, not to not to degrill you like I'm interviewing or anything. But what have you got going on right now, man? Like you working on stuff? I mean, you're always working on stuff. I'm sure you are. But you got anything big coming up? You got any releases coming up soon? You working on anything?
Oh yes, oh yes. I got another release. We just I haven't been dropping them in NFT format, but we just dropped uh my latest single. We just dropped. It's called Music, and before that, we dropped one called BTS, which the ladies really like. Jay said that one was fire. Like out of the last 3 or 4 songs I dropped lately, everybody said BTS is the most fire one.
What is BTS an acronym for something?
Yeah, behind the scenes.
Behind the scenes.
Yeah.
Well, that's why you
Um,
gotta like that. That's
and then we did another one. We dropped one called ASMR, which is like the sounds and shit.
hell yeah.
But like I just took that name because like I wanted it to be like really sensual and sexy and shit like that. So
Okay.
I put that one out. That's got a lot of heavy saxophone in it, and it's got this one scene where like uh it's like a skit right in the middle of the song where I'm like it's like two people breathing hard like they just got done like fucking or whatever, and then you hear like some rain falling, and then the saxophone solo starts after that. So that's the ASMR part of the song is right in the middle, like
Right
a little
on.
skit.
See, I was gonna be. I was just picturing. I'm gonna click on a link, and it'll be like, "Hi, my name is
Yeah,
Shadow." Sorry, that was a bad impersonation of Shadow, but you all know what I was talking about. But cool. Well, that's good.
yeah,
That's good to hear you're working, releasing stuff. Where's the best place for people to be finding your stuff? Getting your Discord, getting the Shadow Riders Army, I guess, right? Like,
yeah, yeah. It used to be we cut the price in half. It used to be um 20 to get in, but now it's just 10. It's 9.99 to get up in there now.
oh,
So
9.99. See, like you don't say that. You don't say it's 10, man. You always got to You always got to push it as 9.99.
yeah,
That sounds way like that's no. I'm like that's like a that's how they used to do it in the day, man. That's marketing, man. You put up a sign, 9.99 is so much more cheaper than 10. It, flat out. People look at that and go, "What's 9.99?" That's a way better deal than that $10 one.
yeah. So we working really hard on building that up and like making it more affordable for people to come on in. So like one of the things that's a benefit is every time I drop a song, everybody in the Discord, everybody in the fan club gets it early. Um, because when it drops, we submit it to DSPs like Spotify, Apple Music. They take sometimes a couple weeks, 2 weeks, couple days. But everybody in the group, uh, in the fan club, they get it right then, like private access. You can listen to it right there, so you don't have to wait. And then we started doing this thing. This was a suggestion from Jay too. I've been getting a lot of good feedback from Jay, but like I did when I went to the studio and recorded BTS and the music track, we did like a live stream in the studio. So you was
Nice.
actually able to see me in the studio recording. And we was in there for like a couple of hours, like 2 3 hours. And so like uh, you know, Jake can attest to this. You could see like, cause it was me, and it was like I had a couple guys in my entourage up in there, and the photographer, and like all the guys that was in the studio, and then like the studio engineer's girlfriend was in there. We had a good time, and
Nice.
so the whole experience, everybody that was in the fan club got to see that behind the scenes, literally behind the scenes. So they got to hear me, like all my mistakes when I was fucking up on the takes, and like they got to see me, like, cause some of the lyrics, cause I had my notepad there. Some of the lyrics I was still trying to figure them out, cause I had like a set amount of lyrics that I had wrote down what I wanted to sing or say or play. But when we got in the studio and started working on it, I had to edit some stuff in real time, and so everybody got to see me do that. And everybody who, like, the general public who gets to hear the finished product, they don't get to experience that,
Yeah.
but the family do. The family does. So
Oh,
um,
that's awesome.
that's what I've been working on. So like it's like a ongoing process. And then like when like me was just saying, I just got back from Peru, and I went there for like a spiritual retreat. So we was doing plant medicine, ayahuasca, and psilocybin mushrooms, and going on the trip. And the whole experience really just it did something to me. So I it kind of took my musical direction, and it veered it off to in a different direction. So I'm like, the motivation and the messages behind the music is going to change. It already have changed. So um, yeah, to catch all of that, I'm everybody that's in the fan club get to. I try to keep them updated on everything, and we're gonna keep doing them live streams like that. And I want to get to where I'm doing the actual live streams with a live band and just kind of like having jam sessions and shit. And
Fuck yeah.
you guys get to just see that and try to pull those off once a week. I'll probably start off doing them once a month. That's so it's just easy for me to dial it down and see how I feel, and then work it up to where I'm doing it once a week. You know, and I'm
That's
debating
fucking
whether I want
yeah.
to do that. I could do it like a Patreon thing where like everybody get to see the live, and I just broadcast it across YouTube and everywhere. But then like if you want to watch the replay, you got to be in the Shadow Riders Army to watch the replays. I might do
I
it like that
I was
because
I was gonna say, another way to do it too is that um, you just release like a good chunk of a snippet. You know what I'm saying? Like get people in there for like 10, 15 minutes. Just choose a chunk to play, and then get people involved in it for free, and then fucking just end it randomly. You know what I'm saying? So then they're like, oh, they're like, whoa, whoa, what? Like I remember watching. I think it was the PlayStation when it first came out or something like that back in the day. No, it was the Panasonic 3DO. One of the other. Anyways,
I remember that.
yeah, yeah. It was literally the first, but they just didn't have the backing with the games and the shit like that. But anyways, it came with a disc that had all of these teasers of all of these different movies, shows, animated stuff, and crap like that. But it was all like 15, 20 minutes of just like randomly. Like it wasn't like it started at the beginning and then ended 20 minutes, into the movie or whatever. It was just like some random chunk that they took out of a movie or an animated series. And I remember we watched that disc a million times because it was the only access we had to that stuff. But I remember like you would get sucked right in and you'd be like totally in. You'd be watching it, be like, yeah, this is awesome. And then it would like end. You're like, fuck.
Damn.
Okay, we got to go to the video store and rent this shit right now. And for those of you listening that don't know what a video store was, Google it. But yeah,
Blockbuster.
Blockbuster, man, Blockbuster. But yeah, no, that's kind of the take I would go on that. But no, that's the that behind the scenes, like that's Jay. Like Jay's a great guy. We've Willie and I have chatted with Jay. We've been in a couple projects with Jay, hanging out as participants, and now that Jay's big, he's a big, huge baller and all, hanging out with Shadow and all that. Now we don't get to talk to him very much anymore, but it's okay. He comes in here and puts his PFP in here. That's just kidding. Just kidding. I know. No, yeah, that's awesome. That's a brilliant. I mean, that's the stuff that I like. That's what Willie, if he was here, he would tell you the same thing. Like the work in progresses, whether it's somebody drawing, working through the drawings and doing different versions of drawings, in a pencil drawing. I love to see the behind the scenes stuff, love to see the work in progress stuff, and to be invited into a studio like that, to see that, to hear the burps, to hear the screw ups, to hear that stuff and the random banter that goes on. Like, it makes the people that are your fans, it makes them feel like they're part of that, right? Like, that's huge to me. That's huge. I love that shit. I think that shit's great. I mean, who was it? Dead Mouse. I don't know if he does it anymore, but I mean, Dead Mouse, DJ, for anybody that doesn't know who Dead Mouse is, but he used to do that all the time. He used to stream constantly. And I mean, there's videos you can go on, you can find these videos of when he, like, somebody sends him a vocal track and he listens to it and goes, holy fuck, this is the one that I'm putting in. And you get to see the discovery and you get to see it happen, like, right there and then. And then when you go and listen to that song, as a fan who had access to that, you'll flash to that instantaneously. Be like, man, I remember when Shadow, just before this, Shadow drank milk and, like, he laughed and shot it through his nose, and then he, like, went to the sax, right? Like, anyways, you know what I'm saying. No, I love that shit. That's brilliant.
We had moments like that in the studio, man. We was fucking up shit. It was a couple hilarious times in the studio, because I had my homie Wally was in the studio, and, like, he would come over and try to like I'm trying to record and he tried to get over. He's like halfway trying to get on the mic and act like he finna get, like, record something too, and at the same time, I don't know, already recorded some shit, but he gonna come in and be like, hey man, you gotta come and you gotta change that to this and this. I'm like, motherfucker, I already recorded it. It's like, you should have told me that earlier. It's already in the can now.
No, it's good stuff. I love that shit.
And he's like, when you want me to come in and say my part? I'm like, bro. And he was all up in the studio. He was all up in. And it was funny because Wally was trying to, like, I mean, he's also a saxophone player, but he's more of like a auxiliary percussionist. And he was in the studio with me, and he kept on trying to like muscle in on the microphone and stuff, and, like, try to come over and, like, fuck around with the keyboard and shit like that that's in the studio. And, like, I'll be like, goddamn, Wally, like, what the fuck you doing? And he's like, man, I think I got an idea. You put this right here and play it like this, and then it got to be so bad that the studio engineer started getting annoyed too. And he's like, bro, go out there and talk to him, because the studio engineer's girlfriend was, like, getting on his nerves, because she was trying to be, like, all in his business, and he tried to work. He's at his job, and he was like, go out there and sit down.
Yeah. I know that's the thing with the studio environment. The studio environment, it's like some people are there to have fun, and some people are like, no, this is literally what I do for a living right now. This is why I'm here. So
yeah, I mean, it was a mix of that. It was like, yeah, we don't mind, just come on in and have some fun, but, like, when we hit the record button, everybody got to chill out,
Yeah. Well, you don't want to piss off. You don't want to piss off an engineer, man. That's like, they walk away and then you're like, fuck.
Yep.
It's no good. No good. Oh, good stuff, man. Love it. I love that you're working with Jay. Like, Jay got some good ideas. He's a smart dude. We're gonna have to have Jay on one day.
Yeah, much respect to Jay. He's really been. He's like a really important part of making sure the lights stay on inside of the Discord. Really knowledgeable guy. He knows his stuff when it comes to managing Discord servers. He's really been a huge help to me, like organizing that shit. Because before he came on to help me, man, that shit was kind of a clusterfuck. I thought I was doing something, but it's really good to have somebody on your team that knows as a subject matter expert is something that you're not good at. You know what I'm saying?
Right? And so much, yeah, again, absolutely. Jay's the man. Hit
Yes,
him up. Hit
sir.
him up in
Jay's
the
a man.
hit him up in the DMs, people. Hit him up in the no, and it's really cool of you to open up and realize that there was a spot there where you maybe weren't so strong, and then to go, yeah, shit, dude, I for lack of better words, you'd be shit. I was fucking everything up, man. You dial
I
it in,
was.
dial it in, dial it in, dial it in, right? Yeah, no, and that's huge for any artist to do, right? For any artist to hand over any kind of control to somebody else in any way, shape, or form, like that's a big deal, man. Like it really is. I mean, we all like to think we can do everything, but we can't. Fact of life, we can't. Well, maybe Fendel can. I don't know. I think Fendel can. Fendel can fucking do everything.
Yeah,
But
Fendel is a fucking one man army. He do
right?
everything.
Yeah.
He played all the instruments, all the wind instruments, all the synth instruments, backflipping, PR work, NFTs. Fendel be doing the goddamn. He be doing the damn thing.
and he,
Goddamn, Fendel.
and he's gonna sell you your herbs and your medicinal herbs down at the Pike's Place. Like, fuck, dude. Like the guy does everything.
Bro, Fendel, you got some mushrooms, bro. What's up?
Yeah, yeah, we can do that. But it's really funny because we're sitting here on stage with Mirato Tito and Mal, who are like two of the most incredible artists that do all of these disciplines. I mean, unbelievably, poetry, art, photography, music, theater, vocals, music production. I mean, if I do it all, we're sitting here on stage with two of the most amazing people.
Oh,
My goodness. I think about this a lot too. Like I don't know really anybody who does it better, like on so many levels in all of Tezos. Like I think about you both, me and Malin, and it's just amazing. We're just sitting right here.
You
right?
know what? You know what, Finn? When I first got here, uh, nobody listened at me. Nobody cared. It was a time where you everything was about shiny pictures, very strombotic, or being a traditional artist. You know, it was like they didn't pay much attention to poetry, to photography. The marketplaces, they didn't even had a category for photography or poetry, words, performing arts, performance. So I never shelled because of that, because nobody really paid attention. It was like, and in the spaces, everything that people talk was like about if you are a great artist, if you can draw, no, or something like, or if you were like this very experimented 3D person. And after 2 years, I am beginning to get to find, how do you say this, reconocimiento. Uh, Perhaps it's, give me just a minute.
No worries. No, Shadow is gonna interpret right now.
Recognition. Yeah, yes, it's similar.
Bien.
Recognition, and it's not vanity, but I am going to share what's this person that does reviews on Hug did for me. It really made me so happy. What this she's called Vivica. She writes reviews for almost everybody that gets into hug. And she wrote a really beautiful stuff about what it is to be multidisciplinary, and yes, I want to share it with you. Just that.
Yeah, please do. And Shadow and Mal, if you could all three of you, if you could share anything in the jumbotron, and then Bits, if you can maybe post some links on the YouTube channel after the fact, so people know where to go. Because yeah,
Absolutely.
let's do that.
Hells yeah. Using the tools that we have in front of us and the power in the people. I
Love you guys.
was going to say, Fendel, I was going to go say that, in my speech, I hadn't moved on to the God part of my speech, which, the next group of people in here are, which is, malicious and me retratit. Got to move to the gods. Fendel, you're good, but you're not. No, just kidding. I'm going to shut up now. I was gonna say.
I am very honored to be on the stage with all of you. Thank you so much. I love you guys so much. Don't you know?
And I need to state that I and Willie are ecstatic to have access and to be on what I like to call a friend level with all of y'all in here that are up on the stage and listening down there, because even right from the beginning, Willie and I, when we started doing the Night Train, before it was called the Night Train years ago, we had a lot of imposter syndrome. A lot. A whole boatload of it. And it seemed like with every guest that we started booking, we got more and more of it. And we would get scared to even approach people. But then it would always, one of us would all of a sudden go, well, no, we just had, whoever on and whoever before that, like what do you mean, like why are we worried about asking this fucking person? And now it's like we just throw out shit to everybody, like we're just like we don't even care. Let's like fucking, I don't know, did you ask Elon Musk? Let's ask him again. Let's ask him again. He's not an artist. Well, maybe he is, we don't know. I mean, fuck. But not really. But yeah, I am, whenever you folks come in here and hang out with us, Fendel, I mean, ever since we've had you on from the beginning, you've come back basically every dang week. Mike Nash is another person like that. So many other people here. Paldy's been, hanging out with us every night. Jay has been in here a million times. Shadow, like all the people in this room keep coming back. And I always say, I don't know why, but I mean, hey, I guess we do it right in this room, and I really, really appreciate it. To have access to be able to speak to people of your guys' capacity, at any time, I can just drop you guys DMs, or you'll come in here and we can talk verbally. I'm utterly flattered and amazed by all of this, and I've said it a million times that the Tuesdays, it doesn't matter what's going on in my life, man. When 6:55 comes around and I come into my office here and I get ready to do this and I hit that and I start this space, man, everything melts away. I really appreciate it so much, and I'm humbled by all of the guests and listeners that we have in here that I feel are far superior to me. 100%. Even the Shadow Band listeners that we used to have, they were far, far superior. What's up, Fendel?
Mal, I'd love to hear like what, where you would like to see your art in the next year, or some of your goals in 2024.
Oh, way to get us back on track, Fendel. Love it.
I'm going to take it in a different direction to answer that question, but I'll answer that first. I want to build a comprehensive on cyber gallery so that my art is highly accessible. And I want to include all of my facets in that. I think it would be really fun. And then I can do little tours and talk about the work and, recite my poetry and, have my music and my art and all of the things. But my dream for where I want my art to be in the world is I want to eventually, somehow, get a big chunk of property, like 100 acres of it, and build a multidisciplinary STEM and art residency, which blends science and art together in all of its forms, where it is accessible for people with disabilities. It is a place where ideas can collide and create new firework explosions of creativity. I think it would be a very beautiful place. And I would like some of my art to be in there, but I would also like all of the artists and researchers and, whoever happens to be there, regardless of creative thought, can all have their work displayed and shared in there. And that is my dream.
And we will will it into fruition.
Thank you.
would love
I need
that.
all of that.
I
I don't know how I'm going to do it, but I'm going to do it.
I would love
That's my
to.
goal.
I would love to be there as like a groundskeeper. I can shovel dirt and clean sidewalks and shit like that, or pathways, because I'm sure it won't be like a metro. Well, there's gonna have to be some infrastructure because it's accessible to everybody, right? Shh.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Yeah. Out in the middle of the
Ah.
boons somewhere, but something that is completely accessible.
Hells yeah. That brings to the forefront of my mind, Mal. I know when you were our guest, we had spoken about the accessibility issue, and I've had people in my life that have brought that to light to me. How sometimes things that are supposed to be quote unquote accessible aren't accessible to all. Like the example I think I used was like a buddy said, a pub could be wheelchair accessible, but when you get inside the pub, there's no wheelchair height tables
Mm-hmm.
available in the
Yeah.
pub and stuff like that. But it just came up recently. Like, I mean, they've just released a bunch of, they did 4 cities. They did this big study in like 4 major cities, and like to give them a grade on like how the accessibility was. And I say they because I don't remember who did the study, but um, they looked for volunteers, and obviously they wanted people that needed accessibility in one shape or another, and got them to go around these cities and like give it ratings and stuff like that. And my hometown here in Calgary, we sucked ass, and it was the same thing. It was the same thing. It's like, well, yeah, they have these things, but it's like it's great that once you get in the building that there's all these wheelchair accessible or what have you areas, but the wheelchair can't get into the building from the sidewalk, right? Like that was,
Yeah.
it was so wild. Yeah, the accessibility thing, love it. You're very pro that.
Mhm.
I would love that, and then to have that space that you want would be just fucking amazing.
Yeah. We should do a disability-centered space at some point to chat, because I have so much information in my brain that I would love to info dump to everyone.
Oh, yes. All right. Well, make note of that. We could do that. I mean, why the hell not, right?
Mhm.
I absolutely. But yeah, that study, I think it was just last week I heard about that or whatever, and I was like, yeah, no, I was just like, this is the one lady that was she was saying, because I believe she was an engineer, I want to say. She could have been an architect, I'm not sure, but anyways, she was saying that like it's kind of bullshit because we're learning how to build these buildings properly, right? We can build a skyscraper that's however many stories way up into the air and all this crazy buildings. She's like, but nobody comes in to teach us about accessibility. She's like, so you can't really blame people when they design things to be, with the accessibility thing, because when they actually learn and they're being schooled on it, they actually don't have experts that come in to talk about these things. So it's never in the forefront of their minds, which is like, that's very interesting. They know how to, they know all about structural integrity of different kinds of concrete and shit like that, and how far out you can cantilever a beam, but nobody goes in and goes, okay, here's a wheelchair, and here's what we have to do. Here's what a person with a cane who's blind walking around, needs. It's like, yeah.
Exactly. Yeah, there's I know of many examples. There's actually this really cool app. Don't know how far it goes out. I know it works in Toronto,
Well, that's the center of the
where
world.
disabled folks, they when they attend a place, they can add in information about a venue that they've been to, which provides details based on their specific type of need. So it gives a really good broad view of what is actually accessible, because you search for things online and it's always like, yeah, it's accessible, and it's not, as you were saying. But
Yeah.
I do have one friend. She is also an architect, and she was talking about there's this one building. I believe it's a university building in Toronto somewhere, where they've designed it, and it's gorgeous. It's lovely. It's got this ramp, so it's got these stairs, but the ramp is like 10 minutes long to get up, because the way that they've designed it. So they've just made this back and forth and back and forth and back and forth ramp, instead of actually designing it for it. And then there is in that same building, there's a staircase, and it's like, this is the most appropriate place for blind people to go up, because there's a railing here. And so of course you're going up the railing, but while you're holding on to the railing, what is protruding out of the wall is some sculptural nonsense that would just jab them right in the face, because nobody thought about it.
Jesus.
So they're like going up a flight of stairs and cannot see, and then suddenly has, stone in the face. So it's like, yeah.
But the point is they got
Yeah.
there. That's the point. They got there. That's the point. Jesus. Yeah, no, it's wild stuff. Yes, I made a note of it here, and maybe we're gonna have to have that space. Not maybe, we definitely should, for sure, have that space. I would love to have you on and chat it out. It also kinds of falls in. Willie's not here to talk about this, but so many people have brought up in the past. Of course, we have lots of friends that live in different time zones where it's very, 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 very late. Like even Mal. I mean, you're a couple hours in from me, right? But it's been brought up about having a space at a different time. Of course, Willie and I are like, well, we need to figure that out. But I definitely think that we're going to have. I would like to push to have something on like a Saturday or a Sunday morning. I don't like to really intrude into people's weekends, but it's all that works for me really well early in the morning. I thought about getting up before work to do it, and I think I could do that, but I don't know how that would play out with the rest of my day. But the thing that I thought about was that it would be nice, number one, to talk to some artists that we normally can't speak to live on the air because they're doing their day jobs right now while we're all just hanging, while some of us are just hanging out here drinking wine, chatting on the night train. But also too, I thought the second thing I thought it could be like the specialty space where something like that, like that topic would definitely fit in as a whole space. So, yeah, I like it. And Malicious probably has a list of 1,000 other spaces we could do too.
I do.
Hell yeah.
I'm actually going to be hosting some spaces in the new year too. So
hell yeah.
I'm so excited. Yeah.
Do it.
Artist talks and things.
I certainly love doing it. It brings so much joy to me. And the one thing I've realized is that it doesn't matter how many spaces there are. These spaces all have their own niche. I mean, people are people, right? Hosts are everybody has their own nuances, and every space is different. Like I don't listen to spaces. Like I randomly go into spaces. I don't even care if I like the topic or anything like that. I just like to go in and check it out because I like to just listen. Not that I ever actually honestly think that I ever take anything from any other spaces and incorporate it into this space. Because I mean, this space is Willie and I's space, and we run it the way we run it. We do what we do. It is our. That's why all you in here come back and listen to us. But I don't ever find repetitiveness, right? Like even when it's supposed to be about very similar topics or the same topics, I don't find repetitiveness because everybody, is so different. I mean, I guess we all know that. We're all human. It's just like your parents taught you from the beginning. Everybody's different. I don't know where I was going with that point, but yeah. Spaces. Do more spaces. Yeah, absolutely. I can't wait till you do spaces, Mal. That'll be fucking amazing.
Mm-hmm.
It will be. So
we'll be sending the invites everywhere.
Whoop, whoop. Mira Tritito is requesting to speak again. She must have stepped out. It's all good. It's all. She hit the button. She ejected. Mira Trito ejected, but we let her back in. It's okay. No big deal.
Can you hear me?
I can so.
Yes. Yeah.
Oh, okay, great.
Oh, I thought you were going to have some big major speech there, but no, you just wanted to know if we could.
No, yes. I'm at the computer and I keep on doing this. I refresh the page, and yes, and I throw myself out of the space every time.
That's okay. We don't judge here. We're all good. Love it. Yeah, man. Got a good room in here still. Got some folks cruising in and out. Innovative down there. I was gonna malicious. I was gonna ask you. Okay, so the little itty bitty tiny Santa Claus hat that you have, right, on your PFP there. So is this a thing? Is this a club? Is this like because Nicholas Dimes has one? I've seen one. Who else has it? Retro Manny, I think, is cruising with one. Or is it just
the wonderful and very sweet artist Sola, Solla, gifts them to people every year. So this is the second year that I've gotten one, and this time she put the little hat on my little spider from my PFP.
Hell yeah! No, I fucking love it.
Yeah, he's so cute.
Absolutely. I noticed as I was going through my YouTube channel and fixing things up, I needed a photo of Nicholas Dimes, and I clicked on him, and he had the little hat on. I'm like, oh shit, it's that time of the year. Yours is just damn cute. That's good. That's good placement on yours.
Yeah.
I love it. That's such a cool thing. Just gift them little hats, and it's noticeable.
Yep. And her PFP this year is her art, which always has the little hat on this time of year, but this year it's holding like a dozen hats. Like it's about to go deliver all of these hats around. So
okay, now I got to look it up here. Oh, of course, she's not coming up right away. I'll find it. I got to see that. I love those little things. It's the little things like that, man. That's just the randomness is so cool.
Yeah.
And with this modern day technology, we can do these little randomnesses to that much more of a broader audience. Speaking of randomnesses and Christmas and got to get shit out, I've got WX8BK Christmas ornaments fucking stacked up here. I've got some on my tree too. I was taking some photos because I got a minted NFT so that if anybody wants a WX8BK Christmas ornament, they just got to purchase the NFT and then be willing to send WX8BK their shipping information, and we will ship you a WX8BK ornament. It's going to be great. They were supposed to be done last Friday and on their way out, but this weekend, I rolled up to this weekend, Friday, and I only did what was absolutely necessary all weekend. I went grocery shopping, I did laundry, I cleaned one room in the house, and I walked the dog every time I had to walk the dog. And other than that, I fucking checked out this weekend. I almost felt guilty because I did so little. Like I was so, it was wonderful. But anyways, so the
rest is valuable.
Yeah, it is. No, it is, and I don't do enough of it. But yeah, so I did that, and so the WX8BK ornaments. To Thursday, actually, I was gonna say tomorrow, but let's say Thursday. I think that the NFT is gonna go up. They're fun. It's a good way to just get a little WX8BK cheer on and they are ornaments. They're not Christmas ornaments. They're ornaments. So if you're not a celebrator of Christmas, you do not have to worry about receiving one of these in the mail. They don't have to be Christmas. They're just ornaments. You can hang them up. They'd be good in the summertime in the window. If you got them little hangy things like in the window, little glass birds and fairies with like little jewels in them and stuff like that. When the sunlight shines through, they put like rainbows on your kitchen floor and shit like that. That's what these WX8BK ornaments are. They won't shine any rainbows, but you can put them in your window. So just wanted to make that clear. The WX8BK non-denominational ornament. hopefully coming to an object listing to you Thursday. Maybe we'll see. They're fun. I had a blast. I should actually post a picture of them up at the top. They haven't changed except for I've hung them on my tree now. I was messing around with some AI today, doing some photos. Man, AI comes up with some great random stuff sometimes that you didn't know you needed in your life until the prompt created whatever it is for you. And I put in the prompt this morning. It was something like hyper realistic 4K mountain valley view at sunrise with a black Labrador retriever bringing you a cup of coffee. And it came up with some really, really nice photos that it came up with. And then it came up with one of, I'm going to post it up here, of a valley and a Labrador retriever riding on top of a coffee cup that has like rocket flames coming out of the bottom of it. And I'm like, how did it get this? I don't know, but I'm going to post this up at the top as soon as I can figure it out because it's my first day. But damn it, I love it. That's the one thing. Like I mess around all the time with art and stuff like that. And AI, every few days I just go on an AI binge where I just create all kinds of interesting things with AI and don't share it. But every once in a while there's stuff that comes up and it's like, how did this come up with this? But this is exactly what I wanted to see. I fucking love it. It's such a great tool. And of course, Twitter's not working for me. Talk amongst yourselves. Oh, Mi Retratito is requesting again. Again? No. Oh, yeah, it is. Okay. I got two phones running here, so I wasn't too sure what I was looking at. That wasn't that right. She keeps snubbing us.
She keeps refreshing the page.
Oh, refreshing, right?
Also,
Hey.
oh, go ahead.
Go ahead. Go ahead, please.
Oh, okay. I was going to say also, because my voice is intact finally, if we would like some songs, let me know, because I can do some songs.
Oh, yeah, songs. Let's go.
Fandel said it.
Okay. So I'm going to do Holy Mountains by System of a Down. And then I'll do a song from Rent after. And then we'll see where my voice is. But yeah, okay. Okay, I'm taking the headphone out. You guys know the drill. Can you feel their haunting presence? Can you feel their haunting presence? Liar, killer, demon, back to the river, or as someone's blank stare deemed it warfare. Liar, killer, demon, back to the river, or as freedom. Freedom. We're free. We're free. that you have no, they have returned, resting on the mountainside. We have learned that you have no honor, murderer, sodomizer, back to the river. They have returned, resting on the mountainside. We have learned that you have no honor, murderer, sodomizer, back to the river. Freedom, freedom. We're free. We're free. Woo! I made it through.
God damn. I am not going to lie. Right at the end there, when you were like wailing, my dog came in and looked at me and looked up at
Is everything okay in here? Are you sure?
What's that, Dad?
Whoa. So much power.
Thank you. I finally have my
Thank you.
larynx back in place, so it's working again. I'm so happy.
Holy shit. That was off the hook. You better have a glass of water after that as well. God damn. You know, and I'm always impressed. Like I said it last week, and you've sang for us before, but it kind of floors me at how actually, considering what we're all using to talk here, like the Twitter Spaces, it's very impressive at how some of this comes through. Like it comes through well. Like even last week when we had Augers, he did a couple acoustic songs for us, and like I'm floored. Like when Fendel sings for us, and I'm floored at how it comes through. It comes through way better than you think this technology should allow it to come through. I'm thankful for that too. Hell yeah.
I know I've only sang the Canadian national anthem on this program, but you know I am happy to play saxophone for you.
Well, you know what I was gonna say is that I literally, as Mal was singing, I was like thinking in my head, I'm like, how come Fendel has never played the saxophone for us? Is this like something that like he's teasing us? He's waiting for us to pay, or you know, I mean, Fendel has sang. Fendel has played the blocks for us. Fendel has.
I never hear him sing it.
He sang the Canadian national anthem twice now, actually.
Well, I'm the only American who knows the Canadian national anthem.
Probably.
Fabulous.
That's probably true.
Malicious, where are you from? From Canada also?
Oh. Yep. I'm from Canada.
Yes.
My mic was stuck. Sorry.
And
Yeah, I'm.
Can you
Go ahead.
can you tell us please about that song? Where is it
Oh.
from?
That is from System of a Down. And they are, the band members are Armenian. So a lot of what their music has to do with is the Armenian genocide and about injustice and corruption in government and stuff like that. So, and Serge Tankian is a vocal god in my mind. So,
Right.
Yeah.
Gaia says she loves it. Gaia, she's my daughter. She's listening in her room. She's down there. she says she loves it.
The original is fantastic as well.
Yeah,
But
if you imagine what I did, but with like a full metal orchestra,
That's
it's like stunning. Yeah.
when you share pieces like that. That's the thing to me. Is like I'm a System of Down fan, so I mean I know the real song, and to hear it such a take it's awesome. It's so awesome to hear it, like, because there was nothing lost to me. It was still just as powerful as it was if they were playing it, with the whole metal, everything. Yeah, just I got shivers just talking about that. Oh, god damn. Once again, I'm getting back to, we are very spoiled on the night train to have you folks come and share this stuff with us. You've got another one for us, Mal? If your vocal cords are perhaps
Sure,
sore?
sure.
You don't have
They're
to.
doing fine.
All
They're
right.
not
I
subluxated, so we're good.
Okay, because
No,
No more whiskey
we
singing.
want another one. We want
Yeah, no, I
How
definitely.
do you say that in English? In Spanish, it would be like otra, otra. This means another one.
Encore.
Encore is what we usually do, even though that's not an English word. We do encore, encore.
Right.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. I'm gonna do "Take Me or Leave Me" from Rent in two voices. Yeah, we'll see how this goes. Every single day I walk down the street, I hear people say, baby, so sweet. Ever since puberty, everybody stares at me. Boys, girls, I can't help it, baby. So be kind and don't lose your mind. Just remember that I'm your baby. Take me for what I am, who I was meant to be. And if you give a damn, take me, baby, or leave me. A tiger in a cage can never see the sun. This diva needs her stage. Baby, let's have fun. You are the one I choose. Folks would kill to fill your shoes. You love the limelight now, baby. So be mine and don't waste my time crying, oh honey bear, are you still my baby? Take me for what I am, who I was meant to be. And if you give a damn, take me, baby, or leave me. No way can I be what I'm not. But hey, don't you want your girl hot? Don't fight, don't lose your head. 'Cause every night, who's in your bed? Who's in your bed? Kiss Pookie, it won't work. I look before I leap. I love margins and discipline. I make lists in my sleep, baby. What's my sin? Never quit, I follow through. I hate mess, but I love you. What to do with my impromptu, baby? So be wise, 'cause this girl satisfies. You got a prize, well, don't compromise. You're one lucky baby. Take me for what I am, who I was meant to be. And if you give a damn, take me, baby, or leave me. That's it, the straw that breaks my back. I quit unless you take it back. Women, what is it about them? Can't live with them or without them. Take me from what I am, who I was meant to be. And if you give a damn, take me, baby, or leave me. Take me or leave me. Take me, baby, or leave me. Yes, I'm leaving. I'm gone.
Wow. Holy shit. There was a couple times there where I think you reached the limits of your microphone. There was twice that was like, no, I was like, she's getting right the fuck up there. Mal, you said that was from you said that was from Rent.
Yeah.
That's something
Yeah,
I've never
it's from
seen.
Rent.
I probably should go see it now,
You should.
so I could
You
put that
should
into
watch it.
context, or I'll be going
I
there.
fell in.
Go
Go
ahead.
ahead. Go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
I was just gonna say I fell in love with the motion picture. I never actually was able to go and see the play, and then when I did have the opportunity to, when it was in my city, I couldn't go. So I really want to see it eventually. It's one of my favorites. That and Chicago. Chicago is another fave of mine. But yeah. It's good.
Bravo.
It's worth it. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I probably should get into that. It's come here a few times, and I know I've just never gone to see it. Yeah. I don't know if I'd be interested. It's kind of one of those things too with a lot of those productions. It's like if there's nothing that really catches me right away, I go But then in my head though, I can go to any if it's if it's coming to a city and going on to into a venue that's a major venue. I mean, obviously it's got to be good. Whether I think so or not from what I know about it. So I need to go. So next time it comes through, I'm going.
Hmm. There is one that I will recommend if anybody sees it in their city. It is the most wholesome, adorable thing I've ever seen. I saw it when it was in its preview, its beta stage, because I went to the same university as the director and the lead. It's called My Mother's Lesbian Jewish Wiccan Wedding, and I highly recommend it. I know it's gone to the States. It started off in Toronto, but it's definitely gone to Broadway somewhere in there. So go and check it out if you can.
My mother's lesbian
My
Wickish wedding.
My Mother's Lesbian Jewish Wiccan Wedding.
Lesbian. Oh, Jewish. I missed the Jewish. Lesbian
Yeah.
Jewish Wiccan wedding.
Yeah, it's fabulous.
Well, I won't miss that. If I see that in the papers, I'll recognize that fucking headline right there.
Yeah.
The hell? What? And then I'll call my mother and say, Mom, we're going to a play. She'd be, oh, you haven't been to that one yet? Thanks, Mom.
Yeah. It's a smaller one, right? So it's like a small, wholesome, very sweet one. It's probably about, say, like an hour and 15 minutes. And when I saw it, at least, there was very little by way of props and things. But it was a lovely little musical, and I loved it a lot. So.
Right on. Making a note. That last song was amazing. What was it called? What's the track called?
It's called Take Me or Leave Me.
Take Me or Leave Me. And just for those that are listening, it's called Take Me or Leave Me, not Take Me or Leave Me. It's not a song with two titles.
Yeah.
Bad joke there. That's sorry.
It was good. It gave me a chuckle.
Wow. Floored us with those, man. Just floored us. Well, and here we thought we had the full power of Mal before. Psh. Crazy. I once again, it would be nice if we could have the jam session. It's too bad with the delays and stuff like that with Twitter Spaces that it really doesn't make it a place where we can have a jam session.
You know what?
What's up?
We did one like 2 weeks ago between a friend, a Peruvian friend. He was putting some beats. He's a DJ, and Ernesto Cisneros, another friend. He's a Cuban pianist, and they jammed together, and it worked, and it sounded amazing.
Really?
Yeah, I
Okay.
think it's better now. They had practice, and Ernesto has very bad connection in Cuba, and they had practically no delay. It was great.
That's cool to know.
Yeah.
Maybe the dream's going to be there. I've always wanted to have a concert for one of my birthdays. I've always wanted to have a festival. Because I've had lots of friends who have been in bands and stuff like that. And it's like, but I've never been able to get them to all be in. I mean, for my birthday, it's like, it's like in the middle of summer, people are like, nah, we're going to go to the beach instead. But that would be fun. Have a WX8BK jam session or festival. We'll like make up a name for it. We'll just, if we could figure out 3 songs that people could get together and play, even just a jam session would actually be totally dope. I don't know. I'm not a musician though, so I'm just blown.
What do you have a particular system? Your voice always sounds so good.
Thank you. I honestly the mixing board that I'm using is this old Newmark, and it was like a pretty standard dive bar DJ mixer. And I just happened to have it like gathering dust out in my garage, and then I had these Shure SM58 microphones, which anybody that's in the music industry will know that a Shure SM58 is going to be around, like when the world ends, man, there's going to be cockroaches, Starbucks, and Shure SM58 microphones all over the place because they're tried, tested, and true. So yeah, like that's what I use. It's way bigger and way more than anybody needs to have. Like I could probably buy a really nice Bluetooth microphone that would probably just do this as well. But I like having the mixing board. Like I have so I can plug whatever I want in. Not that I ever use it really for anything, but I like to have the mixing board. That's where we talked about it for Miami last year. Actually, Willie and I had talked about it. We did want to do a space in Miami. But then what we realized is like, well, logistically to be in a room, it's like we're all either all on our phones, just being guests in a Twitter space, or we would have to like get like, 15 microphones and have mixing boards. So maybe someday we'll do it. But anyways.
But you don't use any app.
Nope. No, I have so I have a little tiny box that goes so from all that kerfuffle that I use, I have this little box that's made by iRig, I think they're called IK Studios or something like that. It's called the iRig,
Yes.
something or other, and it plugs into my iPhone. So it has RCA inputs, and it
Yes.
has and that's what I use. So it doesn't matter what I have down the line, but it all plugs into my phone. Yeah, I don't use any fancy apps or anything like that. No, just the old Twitter machine.
Yo, Vince, you want to hear some more music?
Well, I could actually, yeah. Just before
Yes.
I was gonna say yes, I do, but just before you get to that, Mal has her hand up in the air, so I just address that first.
Yeah, you were talking about wanting to do live streams where things weren't delayed. There is a project on Mir called Endless with multiple S's on the end, and they are building infrastructure for that very purpose in Web3. So keep
There we
an
go.
eye out.
You heard it here, folks. Keep an eye out for it. Of course, somebody's working on it. Shit. Thank you for that. Wrote it down. Wrote it down. Keep an eye out. All right. Shadow. Yes, sir. I would
I
like to.
threw 3 tracks up in the jumbotron. I don't know if you can play them through where you
Okay,
are now.
let me check
but
it out here. Oh,
Those
all
are
right.
the last 3 songs I released.
Oh,
Y'all
dude,
want to hear them?
Yeah, no, totally. Okay, I already, what's really funny about that is in front of me, I already have ASMR queued up on the computer, and I was gonna ask you if I could play that. So,
Man, my man.
Shit.
Yes,
Okay.
sir.
all right, let's take another break. Let's hear another track. Let's do this. This is Shadow and ASMR. Yeah. Little ASMR from Shadow Music. That was
Yes,
sexy.
sir.
I like it. Sorry, my headphones were off, so I had to be careful with talking to the microphone there. I had to have a cool glass of water right, halfway through that song.
Bro, I heard you laughing during the ASMR part. I know I got you.
Oh,
That's
did
it,
you? I
like,
had that on.
yeah.
Because I was gonna ask, I was writing it down. I'm like, so who was that you doing the AS? Was that you doing the out of breath stuff, or?
Yeah, that was me. That was me.
Oh shit! I had the microphone on. God.
Well, you know it worked if Bits got thirsty.
I had half that
Where
glass of water.
where
And
is that, Shadow? Where do you have that? Do you have it minted?
No, it's on Spotify and everywhere else except the NFT.
Oh.
But I will mint it if you want me to.
Yes.
do
Okay.
it.
That's all you have to say. I'm gonna do it for me.
Yeah.
I'm gonna do it for me. I'm gonna do it for her.
Shit. I love that. What I appreciate about the stuff that you put out, Shadow, too, is that you're up there like the 3 minute plus mark, like with a lot of the stuff you do. Maybe I'm wrong in saying that, but I know that you definitely have songs that are up to like close to the 3 minute range, and that's not a common thing anymore. And I appreciate that. Because that's what a song should be, man. As far as I'm concerned, a song should be 3 to 5 minutes, not this 2 minutes and frickin' 20 seconds the kids want on the radio these days. But don't get me wrong. If you can get your song and say what you need to say musically in 2.5 minutes, I'm not going to question it. But I don't know. I think the music companies just force too much of that. Anyways,
Yeah, you're right. Like the last two songs I released is short like that. They under 3 minutes, and I mean, I kind of shit. I had to do them like that because we're pushing to get like more fans. Like you kind of have to play to the industry a little bit just to get
right.
more fans to come in, more attention. But it's like once I get them, then I will have my 3+ minute songs also. But I'm doing some crafting where I'm doing some short, like 2 minute and a half ones, just to like get more ears.
Yeah,
to
I'm
pay
not,
attention.
and I'm not slagging on it totally. Like don't get me wrong, but yeah, but so that actually brings up something interesting because I brought this up before. Um, do you think that's kind of the way it is, right? You got the short, like the attention spans are shorter. Like you got to grab somebody and take them on a trip in a shorter period of time. Like, do you believe that? Like that's what you're believing, right? Like that to get the attention of some of the people, you got to give them that little bit of a smaller package.
Yeah, yeah, just to get their attention. Like how rappers do mixtapes, those are not even really their beats, but they just putting content out there. So it's like a content strategy at this point, and it's just
Sure.
people's attention spans are so short. You got 3 to 4 seconds to hook them on a song.
Uh-huh.
They're gonna listen for 3 to 4 seconds, and if you ain't got them in, if you haven't came up with like a real strong beat, or you came in with the chorus, or you start talking or something like that within those first 3 to 4 seconds, you're gonna lose most of them.
Right.
But but of course, you got like the older crowd who are not conditioned like that. But I mean, that's even people that's like in their 30s and 40s. You lose them too. You like quickly. So if you want new, like the arena that I'm in, I realize I have to compete a little bit. So I'm like, okay, I need to write some songs that's gonna get people's attention quick and get them inside of get them into my world a little bit, and then after I got them, then nurture them and give them some more of these 3 minute songs, 4 minute songs. I got songs that's 7, 8 minutes long, you know. So
That's getting into fish territory now. We're
yeah,
Quality.
yeah.
gonna get
So I'm like,
dope. Fendel's gonna put on a show, and it's gonna be the. All right, folks. Now here's the place where this 3 hour and 18-minute song goes. Here we go. Rock
Yeah,
opera.
we can do this. The long Miles Davis set.
Yeah.
One
Mhm.
one song per side.
Right? Yeah. It's kind of like I remember when we had Meta Mushrooms on Kush, and he told me about he did sound. I think he said he did sound for Fish, or he was at a Fish festival where like Fish played 2 days in a row, and then I was like, I kind of thought about it, and I'm like, now did Fish play 2 days in a row, or did Fish just play for 2 days? Because that's a thing too. Fuck. I love a big epic long song. That's my thing. I'm a big Tool fan. I mean, Tool's got freaking crazy ass long epic songs. But anyways, who just popped in the room and came up here and gave the microphone to a man, another legend here that I am honored to share a space with, just like all y'all that are up here. Mr. Nicholas Dimes, how you doing, sir? Not gonna talk to us. Took the microphone and said no. Fuck this. Willie's not there. I'm not talking.
Let's give him a proper introduction. Ladies and gentlemen, the one that you have been waiting for, Mr. Nicholas Dimes.
Oh shit! He just went by. Well, we should have had some echo now. Ladies and gentlemen, coming to you tonight on the Raceway, we have up Nicholas Dimes. That was terrible.
Sunday, be there.
Sunday. It's Monster Trucks. We're going to sell you the whole seat, but you'll only need the edge.
That was good stuff. Okay, well, you can come up.
yo, Malicious, yo, you got a sexy sounding voice, yo. That low, that's the thing right there. Ooh.
Thank you.
We got
You
a
are
talent
very
pool.
welcome.
We got a talent pool in here tonight. We could make a rock opera tonight. Sorry, I say we, but I would just be a bystander and I would have to pay for a ticket to get in. Y'all can make a rock opera tonight.
We do need
Hey,
the
only if I can play the tambourine.
Oh, you got it.
There he is.
Tambourines here. Is that the?
Nicholas.
Sorry, guys. I just got home. I just got done with a huge autograph signing, and I'm just trying to get settled at home. But I'm listening.
Oh shit! Autograph signing, champ. Man, that's awesome, dude. Is that kind of season, I guess.
It's just great. It's fathers and sons. They get together. They come out, and I get to just make their day. It's just probably one of the most wonderful things ever.
Absolutely, man. Pleasure to have you on here, sir. I mean, to get an autograph and to shake hands with a legend like Nicholas Dimes. Absolutely, it is that season.
So about a year ago, there was a time where I had to drive you to the airport. I don't know if you remember that.
Hell yes, sir, I do. I will never forget that. Ever. That man got me to the airport. I'll tell you, for you folks, I'm going to tell the story again because, I mean, some of you folks might never heard this. It's legendary. I was out partying with Willie till late in the evening in Miami at Art Basel. And even Willie had said to me, man, it's 4 a.m. Don't you think you should be getting back home? You got to, and I'm like, dude, I just got to catch a plane in the morning. All I got to do is get up, get in an Uber, and go to the fucking airport and jump on a plane. No big deal. I slept through my alarm for an hour, and I called an Uber, and I went outside of my Airbnb, and I was standing there with my bags on the side of the road, and right around the corner comes this vehicle. I could hear it coming down the street. This vehicle was coming like mad, and around the corner, and a Rockford right in to the curb next to me, and the door swings open, and there's Nicky D with his hair blowing out the wind. And I threw my bags in, and he said, "Get in and close the door." And man, we flew to that airport. It was like time stood still. The traffic was flying by. The dust and the dirt that was out coming out from behind the car was like mad. We were like floating on that road. Every time we hit a little bump, it was just floating in the air. And same thing like when he came and picked me up. We got to the airport. We came in. We went in through the exit roadway, and Rockford right up against the curb. Boom, out the door I went. I just, as I turned around to thank him, man, boom, car tore off.
Hold on. You didn't tell him what car I drove you in, though. You gotta let him know.
Dude, I don't even know. It could have been the car, but I don't know. It was so quick. Like, seriously.
Yeah, well, I just had the time of my life. I'm glad we got you to the airport safe and sound. Man, I wish I could be in Basel right now, but think my schedule's just so busy right now. But is anyone there right now in the crowd? Or?
No, I think this is the night train not going to Miami tonight, man.
Well, there's always next year,
Right, there is. You betcha, sir. And you know what? I'm really happy that you're the autograph season is kicking in for you, and you're super busy. Then you're doing things, man. To not be there, it's all good. I mean,
it's all good. Shadow, it was really really nice listening to you. I gotta check out your music, man.
Thank you, brother. Thank you. It's an honor coming from a champ, NASCAR champion. Man, I'm honored, brother. Thank you so much. Appreciate you.
Oh, and there it is. We were looking at the PFP. See, Nick Dimes got that wonderful little Santa Claus hat on there, just like Mal does. That's what I was talking about earlier.
All comes around.
Jealous. What's up, Fendel? What you got going on?
Well, let's maybe Shadow, maybe you got another track that you can play for us. That would be beautiful.
Yes, sir. It's should be up in the jumbotron there.
Clicking, and Bits is clicking. I was trying to have it ready. Shit. No, we got that. We'll get this up here. Yeah, not being in Miami this year, I mean, hey, it's a bummer. It was a good experience, but I mean, hey, you can't have that experience all the time, I guess. Fucking, I could have went. I was even looking to actually. So the last time I went to Miami, I am still looking for trying to get this goddamn shadow link clicked on here. Last year I flew on points, and then got an Airbnb. And then this year I was going to fly on points again, but whatever. Decided not to because, again, went to Italy for 3 weeks. Got to pick your trips. But 2 weeks ago, I messaged Willie. Like, he would tell you if he was here, he'd be like, fuck, man, Bits messages me every day. Like, oh, man, like we could do this in Miami, and here's this deal or whatever. But round trip flight, I could have got one for 400 Canadian dollars, which is like, $3.50 American, $3.50 American, I think. But yeah, could have went. But then Willie pointed out, he's like, dude, we almost spent $1,000 in Ubers. And I'm like, yep, good point. Not going to Miami. You always have to forget about that when you're going places. There's all those extra fucking things you got to spend on, like eating, drinking.
Yeah.
What the hell?
Gotta get those in.
Right? Happens. Well, the Ubers, it was nuts, man. Willie and I, we figured it out that between Willie and myself, we just about spent $1,000 on Ubers in Miami. Like, that's ridiculous. Like, that is. But we were trying to be everywhere, right? Like, I mean, we were trying to be everywhere. We had so many invites. One night you're at a rave in the middle of an industrial area. The next night you're on the beach at some gallery, and then the next night you're freaking going to some other industrial area to see Laser Lou and meet Paper Buddha. Like, was nuts.
And then you're at another rave or something. Like, what the hell's a Ferrari doing in there?
Right? Yeah, no, exactly. Yeah, totally.
And then on top of that, the Ubers, sometimes you couldn't even make it to your location, so you'd have to get out and walk.
Right? Yeah, no, that's very, very true. Well, we found that at the end. When we were leaving locations, we walked away. Like, we would literally walk like 3 blocks away because you could get an Uber at the snap of a finger. But if you stayed like around the events, you couldn't fucking get an Uber. Like, it was like your Uber kept canceling on you. Shit, dude. Shadow, I'm trying to get these up, but it's not coming up. Oh, you know what? I could just go on your YouTube channel, right? I was right there. God damn.
Yeah, the full songs are over there. So yeah, you can just go to the releases.
Fendel was on the ball throwing. He was like, and we're gonna throw it back to Shadow, and then Bits dropped it. Bits dropped the ball.
We picked it back up though. We got it. We covered.
Yeah, we got it. It's all right. I guess there's nothing to recover from when you didn't have a real show planned out. So, whatever. If you're all still here and you're not liking it, that's on you. Thank you for being here, folks. All right, I got this right now. Okay, we're gonna drop to another Shadow track. This is BTS. And then Twitter and then YouTube said, "That's it. That's all." That was BTS Shadow Music.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. Thank you. Yeah, man. Oh, that one was like a good one right there. That's.
I love it.
Yeah, that's this is Shorty I'm talking to right now.
What was that song about? It was too deep.
Like, it's about a relationship I'm in right now, man. Like Shorty that's very, very inspiring to me. She's like mad supportive, always got my back, and very beautiful, smart, intelligent, and she's a great muse. I put it like that.
Beautiful.
She inspired that song, 100%.
Beautiful.
Hey, since you're a sax man, I gotta ask you. Do you know of a guy named Jeff Kashawa?
Jeff
I know Jeff.
Castro.
All right, Jeff's a real good buddy of mine. I just wanted to check, see if you guys knew who he was.
Oh,
I know him
connect us.
personally.
Yeah, connect us. If he's on Twitter, bro, connect us. So I would love to get to know
Yeah, he's a teacher, father, just a good dear friend of mine. Fendel, of course, you knew who he was. You just know everyone in the scene.
Oh, I've known Jeff for years. You know, he. I don't know if he still lives out here, but he, lived out here in Seattle for a long time.
Oh yeah, he still lives out here.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, we've hung out a few times. Like I've never played with him, personally, but I mean, he's hugely talented. Amazing.
My buddy, my photographer friend, Flynn, Joshua Flynn. He's done a few photo shoots with him, album cover work and everything.
I think that we've actually had this discussion once, maybe a year ago or so. But yeah. I'm recalling this. But yeah, your buddy. I know that your buddy definitely did some photo shoots with him and knows him really well.
Yeah. Anyways, you sax people though, you guys really set the mood. You really do every single time.
Thanks, brother. Appreciate you.
They're the sexiest people I know. Hell yeah.
Makes me want to do some jazz.
Did you guys get that joke?
We got it.
Did Malicious say that she wants to sing?
Yeah, I was just saying it, making me feel like doing jazz again. I can do some jazz.
Do a little
if anybody-
jazz.
Yeah.
Sure. Fuck yeah. Hells yeah. I was actually going to say, we're going to wind up this space at the top of the hour, or I guess the bottom of the hour. Depends on which way you look at it, if we're talking baseball or whatever. So we'll go around the room and let everybody do a little input. And if Mal wants to start us off, I think that would be a great way to go.
Okay.
I got it. Shh, get some popcorn, folks.
Okay, I'm gonna take this thing out of my ear as per usual.
Give it to him, sheep. Give it to him.
I'm gonna be singing "Feeling Good." Birds flying high, you know how I feel. Sun in the sky, you know how I feel. Breeze drifting on by, you know how I feel. It's a new dawn, it's a new day, it's a new life for me. And I'm feeling good. Fish in the sea, you know how I feel. River running free, you know how I feel. Blossom on a tree, you know how I feel. It's a new dawn, it's a new day, it's a new life for me, and I'm feeling good. Dragonfly out in the sun, you know what I mean, don't you know? Butterflies all having fun, you know what I mean. Sleep in peace when the day is done, that's what I mean. And this old world is a new world, and a bold world for me. And I'm feeling good.
Mm. That one it reminded me. I started thinking about that as you were singing that. It reminded me of you sang "Fever" for us before, and that's
Oh, yes.
yeah, yeah.
Yes.
So I started to think about, sure, damn. Oh, see, and now if you had that 100 acres to focus on arts and make it accessible to all those folks, we could hear your voice just echoing through the forest.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
Mm-hmm. It is my favorite thing. To sing in the forest, actually.
right?
So, yeah.
Is it like when you sing in the forest? Does it get all Disney? Like does like bluebirds come and land on you and deer come out and like
It does. Um, a lot, actually. So,
right?
it used to happen to me a lot when I was a kid singing Disney songs. I would have things come out of the forest, and now generally birds will like land on me, little chickadees, and like it's ridiculous, but it works. So,
Hell, do
yeah.
it. Oh, it's a beautiful thing. It's a beautiful thing. Once again, very happy to have somebody so wonderful to come and hang out and be a friend. Sweet.
And it's so wonderful that you host this space for us every week so
Yeah.
that we can all come together
Hell yeah.
and enjoy your company.
Thank you. Man, do you remember Halloween? You like hosted the show. You ran the show. By the way, for you folks listening, if you ever want to have something to have a little listen to, like if you're going on a road trip or something and you just like looking for a book on tape or a playlist or something that you want, go onto YouTube and listen to the Halloween show that we had here on WX8BK. Literally, just like tonight, I just rolled in to just you know send off the night train just to be here because I mean Tuesday nights at 9 p.m. Eastern. The night train's here, and Mal came in because she was our guest the week before. Came in to hang with us, and as we were chatting back and forth, I heard the door knock, and I had to go and do the whole trick or treat candy thing for the kids. And a bunch of neighbors rolled up, and everybody started rolling up and to the house, and I couldn't get back to the space. And Mal, for I think it turned out to be like an hour and a half, didn't it? At least an hour, anyways. That Mal
Yeah.
sang songs and read poetry. And every time I would check my phone, it'd be like I'd turn it up a little bit in my pocket as somebody was talking to me out on the front street, and then I would just hear Mal's voice, and I'm like, okay, well everything's good. Mal's like, holy shit. So if you're looking for something to listen to, I highly recommend it. I went back and listened to it 2 days later, and like it's not to be, you know, put aside, or what's the word I'm looking for? It's not to be overlooked. You should definitely check it out. It was really awesome. Good space. And while you're there too, give a like and subscribe to the WX8BK YouTube, which is if you click on the WX8BK PFP, you can go up there and in the description, the link tree and the links there, and you can do the whole thing. I updated that too this weekend. That was my big thing. I actually put YouTube in the WX8BK kind of description thing, which because Willie was like, "Hey man, it's not even up there. It's not even on our link tree." Oh, so I got that up there. Cool. As we're rolling down for the night, we're going around the room with final words. We can Mi Retratito, do you have anything else you'd like to lay down for us and say before we send the night on the way? No?
No, I'm just so happy I came into the space and I could enjoy this. Thank you. Just thank you.
Thank you. That works too. That was a great way to end it for you. I love that. You're welcome. Sorry, I was clicking around on the computer here and I got a little sidetracked. Not that I was not listening to you as well, but yeah, appreciate you very much. Every time I see you come into the space, it makes me smile so greatly, and all I think about is driving a stick shift car, a standard, a gear shift car, because that's what Mi Retratito means to me. Because that's what that lady likes to drive. She likes to have a vehicle that has a stick shift, and she likes to grab gears. 100%.
When you come to Lima, you will understand why.
No, I get it. I totally get it. Like I mean, when I go to Italy, it's probably the same thing. A lot of ups, a lot of downs. You got to do it. Totally. um, Shadow, you got anything you want to close out tonight with, man? Since you got the microphone, sir. Not that you haven't done enough as it is tonight too. You've shared a lot with us.
Man, Vince, it's always a pleasure, brother. I just wanted to come and spend some time with the family. Um, Thank you for having me on the show months ago, man. I really appreciate the love, man. Also, it was a pleasure getting to hear that sweet, feminine, beautiful voice of me, Retro again. I got so much inspiration from our conversations and the time we spent together as being teammates. You inspired me to go to actually fucking go to Peru. Cause like after I met you, I was like, fuck, I've been planning to do this shit. I might as well do it now. And it changed my life. So thank you, me. Shout out to Findle, brother. Like, thanks for getting in my ass that one time when I was being arrogant with Tez Toes. I, I look back and I'm glad that I'm part of this family. I would have never got to meet all you wonderful people up in this room. Jay, thanks for having my back. And shout out his army helping me fix up that clusterfuck that I did with that Discord. You know what I'm saying? Um, Everybody else in the space, man, Malicious, you got a really sexy voice. You should use it all the time. I got inspiration from you tonight. Nicholas, the NASCAR champion. Much respect for you, sir. Really appreciate you coming through and showing love. Everybody else in the space, man. Love y'all. Appreciate y'all.
Wow. Yes, sir. I was gonna say, how do you even follow that up? I just wrecked that by even talking after all that. No, Shadow, thank you very much, man. It was a great pleasure to have you on a few months back when we had you on as a guest, and like I really appreciate seeing you pop into the room, and it was good to hear your voice again, man, and to chat a little bit with you. It's been a minute, I think, since we've interacted here, but I mean, everybody's busy and everybody's doing their thing. I always feel a little bit bad. Um, I really prided myself at the beginning of WX8BK, over 2 years ago. Well, 2 years ago. Um, I prided myself on making sure that I stayed very, very seriously in touch with everybody that we interact with and everybody that supported us, everybody that was a listener, everybody that was a guest on our space. And I started to feel bad sometimes because as it grew, obviously you get more people involved, right? Like just, a lot of you out here that are listening to me right now know that as things grow, well, you get more and more people. And for me, I felt a little bit bad because I wasn't interacting with all of those people the way that I had originally started. And I felt shitty about it. And then Willie's like, dude, like you can't interact with everybody. Like you have more people here to interact with than you probably do in your daily life, which is factual, right? So if anybody ever thinks that Bits or WX8BK isn't thinking about you, we always are, no matter what. We can only get around so much, but that's just the way it is, right? And everybody should remember that. Don't have to feel bad about it. We all know that we're here. We all know that we're a DM away, and we can hang out and chat with each other and just say hi, drop some flowers, something like that, for sure. And you got people like Jay down there who can help you with that as well if you need it. You can all message him. Jay will help you out with your Discords if you're running a Discord. Get your shit straight. Fendel, you got something you want to close out with, man? You got some closing words, sir?
Heck yeah. Thank you for such a wonderful space. As always, Bids. Always great to see my friends in here. Me, Shadow, Mal, Nikki D, Paldy, Jay, everybody. Thank you for being here. Maybe I could even close out and play you a little bit of jazz saxophone, a little bit of body and soul, maybe. Should we do that?
There's no maybe about it, sir.
Oh my God, yes, please.
Hell yes.
Do this. Um, thank you.
Oh, who in here doesn't wish you were Naples? Geez, sorry, I got my tongue tied. Don't. Who in here doesn't wish that they were neighbors with Fendel right now to hear that coming through the windows? Oh,
Oh, yes.
wow. You know, Fendel, my man, thank you very much for that. And it's never crossed my mind to ever ask you honestly to play the saxophone. I I know it sounds really fucking weird, but it hasn't. Like it hasn't. Like it's never been a thing. Like I know. Like yeah, I don't know. It's really really weird. I mean, like it's never crossed my mind. it's,
No
so,
worries at all,
like,
fans.
like
It's
shit.
I'm always happy to play for you, and it is the thing that you know, it is the thing that I do best for sure. I know you like. I know you like hearing the Canadian national anthem.
Oh, you could just I could play that on repeat all day long, man. Dude, thank you very much. The first time that we've had Fendel play the saxophone on WXAPK Night Train. That was amazing. Beautiful. Thank you. And
I
thank you
hope
for your kind
this
words.
becomes a weekly staple because that was fabulous.
So much. I'm always happy to play.
Oh, that was beautiful. I mean, we've even had Fendel play the blocks for crying out loud.
Yes, I own some wood blocks. One of the many instruments in this house. But yes,
Yeah.
and I. It's so funny that you guys like that because there's some epic instruments in here. Like we could play upright bass, we could play piano. It could be anything. But
I didn't know you had
saxophone's my deal.
Yeah, sure. You know what? Maybe that would be. We could do that. You know what? Although I love having sax with you, um, I was gonna say, maybe you could just like bust out like tell us about a new instrument whenever you have to. I mean, it doesn't have to be weekly or anything like that, but every once in a while, if you want to just go, hey guys, I just dusted off my whatever it is, my didgeridoo. Do you want to hear it? That'd be cool. Because yes, you do. You have all kinds of music making capabilities.
Yeah, I mean, piano, bass, drums. I play upright bass. I mean, not really well enough to play gigs on the thing, but I can fool people. I play it well enough to read charts and stuff,
Dope.
but
That's so dope.
but it is my secondary instrument, really. But
Fucking killer.
yeah.
Man, again, I'm back to the whole very lucky, and just like everybody else in here too, feels very lucky that we know all of these different people that are in this space and have access to these amazing, wonderful people that we would possibly never ever cross paths with in any other way, shape, or form. So, if anything, at the least, this space has definitely brought some folks together. That's for sure. From all different walks of life, all colors, all shapes, all sizes, all sexes, all mammalian forms. I'm sure we've had a couple platypus listening. I'm very, very sure I've seen it. So, but maybe not. I don't know. Anyways, on that note, I want to thank you all very much for being in here tonight. Everybody that's here in the space, you make a big difference and you make this space happen. We keep doing it and I keep coming here just like tonight. I was going to call it off tonight, not do it tonight because Willie was going to take the night off, and I thought I would too, but sometimes I just feel like it's important to be here to hang out. Fendel, I definitely got to give you a big shout out tonight, man. You came in here and you were the co-host of the co-host, and I think I only gave you a speaker position, and I in my mind, in hindsight, that was very, very wrong. You definitely should have been up here in a co-host capacity. You held the conversation with me for quite a long time tonight, and you took the conversation back on the tracks a few times, which sometimes I need. So I appreciate that very much.
I'm always happy to co-host or to be just to be a co-host and to help out, and I love everybody in this room, so I hope you all have a beautiful night.
Thank you very much. Appreciate that. And everybody else in here too. I got to say all the names I got to have in here. We got Agri down there, the Metamuse, Sister Sage, Gaia, Paldi, Mi Retratito, Art, Nicholas Dimes, Morano, Jay, Innovative, Malicious Sheep, Fendel, Shadow, Mi Retratito. Man, you all mean the world to me, and I appreciate you all very much. And I appreciate you being here to listen to me and to Willie on Tuesday nights at 9 p.m. And I appreciate everything that you all do to have brought you into our eyes so that we wanted to reach out to you and talk to you. And I'm happy that we have. I'm happy to know each and every one of you in every way, shape, and form. Next week, we'll be back with 5,000 Aliens, who is a collage artist who currently has a movie out on Apple TV. So we're going to be talking to him next week. Then the following week, somebody who hasn't been in the space in a long time, Joe Rogan's dad, will be here to chat with us a little bit. And then Boxing Day, I think we're just going to have a clips show that I'm kind of trying to throw together that I started last weekend. So we'll see if that happens. If not, we're just going to be doing Boxing Day stuff by just hanging out with our families. So thank you again, everybody, for being here. Please make sure you take care of yourselves and take care of each other. And we'll see you next Tuesday, 9 p.m. Eastern, right here on the Night Train. Good night, everybody. Thank you.
It's everywhere I look, from Las Vegas to right here, under your dresser, right by your ear. It's creeping in. take a real bite. The juice pouring well over your skin's delight. The shadow it grows and takes the depth away, leaving broken down pieces to this priceless ballet. The shallower it grows, the shallower it grows, the fainter we go into the fade out line. The shallower it grows, the shallower it grows, the fainter we go into the deeper down. If we build all those bridges, don't watch them thin down to dust, or blow them voluntarily out of constant trust. The clock is ticking, its last couple of clocks, and there won't be a party with the weather in front. The shallower it grows, the shallower it grows, the fainter we go into the fade out line. The shallower it grows, the shallower it grows, the fainter we go into the fade out line. Heading deep down, we're sliding without noticing our own decline. Heading deep down, we're hanging on to sweet nothing's left behind. Deeper down. Deeper down. Deeper down. Deeper down. Down, deeper down. If we build all those bridges, don't watch them thin down to dust, or blow them voluntarily out of constant trust. The clock is ticking, its last couple of clocks, and there won't be a party with the weather in front. If we build all those bridges, don't watch them thin down to dust, or blow them voluntarily out of constant trust. The clock is ticking, its last couple of clocks, and there won't be a party with the weather in front. The shallower it grows, the shallower it grows, the fainter we go into the fade out line. The shallower it grows, the shallower it grows, the fainter we go into the fade out line. We are all plunging straight towards our own decline. Without noticing, we slide down, deeper down. The shadow grows without ever slowing down. We are heading straight into the fade out line. Deeper down.
One Wheel Willie, you're late. Go to the corner. Have some time out. Good night, everybody. Love you. Bye.